Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to PlayUp Legends, the Group 4, Session 1. My name is Paul, and I'm going to be your DM for today. I have with me my 4 lovely players. I have Mirfar, Hans, Samael Molk, and Shami over here. A very quick word to our sponsors before we begin. This is brought to you by our sponsors, the Miniature Corner Studio, who you can find on Facebook. They sell 3D printing locally. And when you use the code PlayUp21, that is lower caps PlayUp21, you get 10% off your overall bill. Wow! Also, WarmongerGamesMortar.com, another sponsor where you can find anything geek hobby related, board games and such. And until the end of the next week, you can use the code PlayUpDND277. That is all uppercase, PlayUpDND277 for a 10% discount on RPG products, which are valid until the end of next week. And finally, we also have thegianttowers.com, where you can find your 3D themed terrain and figures delivered worldwide, and where you can find the code PlayUp15, that is uppercase PlayUp15, where you can get 15% off your final bill. Finally, if you like what we do here at PlayUp, you can support us directly on patreon.com/playupmt. That is patreon.com/playupmt for as little as €3 a month. I think I sounded very professional doing that. Right, so let's get straight into it. One of you guys want to very quickly introduce yourselves, give your real names or something, or we just stick with your Discord handles?
I think Owen is simpler.
Owen is simpler, I agree.
Yeah. Feel free.
Well, I'm just DM, so Shami, we can call you by your real name if you prefer, or do you want to just stick with Shami?
Whatever's easier. Shami works for me.
Shami it is, then. Puns, what about you? Are we sticking with puns?
Either way, I don't really care.
Puns it is, then. Mir, are we sticking with Mir?
Mir, yeah. One option, pretty
We shall call you Obliquitous the Third. No.
No, please, no.
Okay, so let's get straight into the session. So a quick disclaimer to the people who don't know, of course, before we begin. This group represents one of the 4 main factions that we have going on within the New World, which is the place that we will be playing in, a completely homebrew world designed by myself, Don, and JP, the 3 DMs of PlayUp Legends. The faction that this group is a part of is called the Norns Alliance, and specifically this group makes up part of the militant division of the Norns Alliance. They're called the Spears of Norn. I'm not going to give too much away at this point. You will find out more if you continue watching. That's good incentive, right? Yeah. Okay, so getting straight into it. We have a massive continent that we're playing in called the New World. We are primarily going to be focusing on the western, I'm not sure on the video which side is which. Okay, this would be the western side. On the western side, the western hemisphere of the New World, which is called the Kingslands. The Kingslands is comprised of a whole plateau of different cities and towns such as Blackgate, Daggergard, Dangarnon, Kovir, Wolford, and the fantastic, amazing, beautiful bluestone city of Aegis, which sits round about at the center, a little bit to the north of the Kingslands. So, if we take a look in your mind's eye of the city of Aegis, you will see something that looks a little bit like Minas Tirith, but cooler. It's got blue stones, there are high towering buildings, lots of flags flying everywhere, lots of flags obviously of different factions. And as you get closer, you can see mostly the population appears to be human, even though you can see the odd dwarf, halfling, even tiefling scurrying around through the different streets. The city of Aegis is quite large, and because of that, there is quite a diverse population. This is new to the players as well. So guys, if you have any questions, please stop me. I'm not reading off a script. I'm just giving you an idea. If we take that eagle eye view and zoom in a little bit closer, going down to the eastern part of the city of Aegis, we can see that the buildings over here are a little bit on the more elegant and regal side. A lot of the roofs are have these lovely tile touchings across them. The windows are inlaid with gold or silver. The people walking around have brightly colored umbrellas that they hold above them to, not get too much sunburn. As we zoom in even closer, we come across a quaint little cafe. This cafe has a large sign over the top that says Le Beige Dragon written on it. Dragon with an E at the end, of course. Outside, there are lots of these little quaint white tables, round white tables that are have little chairs all around them. And the customers are all sitting down, drinking from little teacups, little china teacups, which have all these little roses and emblems painted across them. They look very fancy. And sitting at one of these tables, wearing this leather cassock that over it is a very shiny metal breastplate with the pointed helmet that he has taken off and rested on the table. There is a gentleman. He's got a lovely mustache, brown in color, not like mine, darker, and bushier than mine, of course. And he's got a little bit of goatee to him. He looks a little bit on the older side, perhaps. He's in his early 40s, something like that. He's got a bit of a stern look to him, and as he's looking around, he appears to be waiting for someone. Now, I'm throwing you guys a little bit in the deep end here because I didn't prepare you guys by asking you guys to have a character visual description ready, but I'm pretty sure you have in your mind's eye what you guys think your character will look like. So, who are we going to start with? Who's going to be brave?
That's what you're looking for.
A description of your character.
Okay.
Alive?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
a quick description of your character. Owen, let's start with you. You begin to approach this table where this gentleman is sitting down, and as he looks up at you, he appears to recognize you. What does he see in front of him?
Okay, so what he sees is basically a metal man dressed in a black and purple robe, with a small red imp, female imp, on his shoulder. His eyes are also purple, as in hexes, not the imp. My character is Hex, just to start from there. And that's it, really. There's no armor or anything. It is just robes over the metal body, really. No armor required, I guess.
Okay. Okay. As you approach, he stands up and holds out his hands to shake your hand, going, Ensign Hex, I was waiting for you. Very pleased to meet you. Shakes your hand. My name is Captain Potts. I am the captain of the Aegis City Guard. Please take a seat, sit down. It looks like it's about late morning at this point, and you can see a few waiters roaming around you. As you sit across from him at the table, Hex, he tells you, we are still waiting for the others. Do you know if they'll be coming along anytime soon?
I honestly have no idea.
Fantastic.
Not at all.
Well, we can just wait. And he sort of scratches his beard a little bit awkwardly and stares at you. Are you all metal?
No, we are not. And I just slowly deactivate as my eyes just dim purple. Just let me know when they're here. Thank you.
Oh, Okay then. And he just sits there waiting awkwardly. After a few moments, he sees another figure approaching the table and recognizing the person, immediately stands up. Shami,
So
would you like to
he
give us a
sees
quick description?
Sure. So he sees a slightly taller than average dwarf who's a bit stocky, snow white hair and beard, dressed in chainmail, carrying a shield and a warhammer.
Okay. As he stands up to greet you, he goes, Ensign Frostbeard, thank you for coming. You are more muscular than I thought you would be.
Working out pays off.
Would you like to take a seat? And he sort of guides you down and sits you down at the chair. Did you find the place okay? Were my directions clear enough?
Crystal clear, sir.
Would you like a drink?
You're grand. I'll be okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. After a few moments of chatting, he turns around and notices as the third member of the group starts walking towards the table. Mir, would you like to describe your character?
So currently, my character looks like a woman, early 30s. She has very frizzy, curly hair. She looks very sickly and doesn't look quite right in the head. And she's wearing all leather, basically.
Okay.
Practically.
Just very quickly, and understand me on this, would this be something that other people would have seen?
Yes.
They
Sure.
would recognize you through this?
Yes.
Sure. All right. Okay, he stands up. Okay, he stands up, walks up to you. Ensign Echo, thank you so much for joining us. Please come and take a seat. And as he guides you towards the table, one of the waiters steps up to your table, noticing a large crowd of people. The waiter has blonde, slicked back, very neatly permed hair. He's got this very lovely looking waitering suit on with a little apron over it. He obviously has a towel over one arm, and he is holding a little empty tray in the other one. And as he steps up to the table, he tells you, oui. Welcome to Le Beige Dragon. My name is Jacques Mufufus. I will be your waiter for this morning. He sort of starts distributing some menus onto the table and tells you, our specials today are pasta olio e ogar, la carrot strip, balsamic glazed albert rolls, and the lovely cockatrice soup. Would you like to order some drinks, or should I come back?
What did he say?
I said.
Does anybody understand him?
No. I said we have the specials today. They are the pasta olio le ogar, la carrot strip, the cockatrice soup, and we have the balsamic glazed albert rolls.
Is he speaking common?
Don't know, but he sounds very funny.
Quite. I'll have some water, please.
Some water for the gentleman, indeed. Anything else?
I'll have a glass too.
Very well. 2 glasses of water? He looks slightly disappointed.
I'll have some ale.
Some ale for the lady. Okay, very good. And for you, sir? And he turns to Captain Potts. I'll have an ale too. Thank you. Very well. And I will let you take a look at the menus. As he's turning to go, all of a sudden, all of you hear this. And you see a singular black dot suddenly zipping through the air. And it lands on the immaculate white table in front of you. As you stare at the tiny fly, and you see a whole crowd of little flies just zipping through the air. Some of them alighting upon the table, 1 or 2. landing upon your shoulders. And you see walking up behind you the very recognizable fourth member of your group. Hans, would you like to give a description?
From the swarm, you see a very light blue skin of Firbolg, a bit of dirt patches on his leather armor. He also has his bow and arrow. So as he walks in, said, "Apologies. I'm sorry for the delay, but I couldn't find my way around town. So, how is everyone?"
That's okay, you're right on time, says Captain Potts.
Well, I was a bit worried.
What will you be having?
I'll just take water.
You see the waiter turn back, and as he sees the collection of flies buzzing around the table, you just see him go, "Oh mon Dieu, I will get someone to clean these right up. That is fine. Hello.
No worries, they are my friends. If you want, I can take them, leave them outside."
You see his face visibly paling. He just goes, "Oh mon Dieu," and he turns around and starts heading back towards the restaurant.
So he's getting over, I guess, huh?
Right. So thank you all for coming, firstly. It really is an honor to have Group 13 from the Spears to be joining us. Of course, the letter that I sent you didn't have many details in it. I was hoping to sit down and have a bit of a powwow with you about it this early morning. Tomorrow, as you all know, is Settlers' Day. It's a day which celebrates when the first settlers landed in the northwest of the Kingslands in that region of Talduna over 2,000 years ago. Great for celebrations, great for kids, great for fun, a nightmare for us in terms of security. Tomorrow we have the first fair, which is taking place in the Royal Gardens, which will be open to the public for the whole day. We've also got the royal family who will be attending the fair. And we have been assigned, well, the City Watch has been assigned to take care of the security over there. We've asked you to come along to oversee the security detail and also to keep an eye on the royal family if possible. There's been a little bit of disturbance going on with, I don't know if anyone's mentioned to you the Grimblades?
Not yet, I think.
Well, I mean, they're nothing more than a local nuisance, to be honest with you. But we just need to keep an eye out for them, that's all. He seems a little bit like he wants to say something more, but he knows that he shouldn't. Yes, they've been a bit of a problem around here.
Do they regularly cause trouble?
Well, it's not as such that they've been causing too much trouble, but there's, I shouldn't talk about this, but I will anyway. There's a little bit of a rumor going on. Are you familiar with the royal family?
Not personally.
Yeah, well, lovely couple, King Aegis and Queen Nera. They're really lovely, and they've got their two sons, Prince Ava and Prince Aemar. They're really nice. However, well, there's a eensy-weensy rumor going around that Aemar might or might not have a gambling habit and might owe the Grimblades a little bit of money, and they might possibly be coming to reclaim it. I'm sure it's nothing more than a rumor. However, you can see why we might want the extra security. Keep that on the down low.
How much money are we
Who are the
talking?
Grimblades?
How much money? I have no idea. I don't know the depths of the coffers of the royal family, but I would say in excess of a couple of thousand gold, most probably.
Right.
Of course, again, it's nothing to worry about whatsoever. We just need to make sure that security is kept and everyone is safe and hunky-dory, and it should all be fine then.
Well, as long as you think we can take them.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, my own team will be there as well. Of course, in these times of peace, the number of people wanting to sign up for the City Watch is obviously a little bit reduced. But, we have a smashing team, and I'm sure we'll do an excellent job. And of course, we have nothing to worry about whatsoever. There's no reason to suspect that anything will happen tomorrow, I'm sure.
How many of your men are posted?
Oh, well, let's see. We've got, seems to rack his brains. I've got, yes, we're going to have the whole group over there. All five, well, counting me, all 6 of us. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Only the best of the best.
Who are the Grim Blades?
The Grim Blades. Well, there's a rumor going around that they're run by this chap called Patches. He seems to be not a very savory individual. He seems to have certain ties to the Aegis harbor. Not exactly sure, but there are some rumors going around that some illegal trade goes on over there. Mostly they are a nuisance in the eastern part of town. In the southern part of town, where the slightly less convenienced people would normally stray to. However, their influence has been extending slightly. It's mostly been minor robberies, the old scuffle here and there. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure. No, it'll be completely and totally fine. But, however, I am here if you have any other questions.
Not really. I think we have enough information.
Right. Is there anything that I can prepare or that I can ask my team to prepare for the security detail tomorrow? Anything you might be needing?
What time do you want us, and when can we scope the area out?
The festival starts late afternoon, just past 3 o'clock. However, if you'd like to come a little bit earlier, scope it out. That's a good idea. I should have thought of that. Scope it out. We can definitely do that perhaps around noon.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
That works.
Would that work? I will tell my men at once and my women as well, because we are very much an equal opportunity city watch. Yes.
That didn't sound very convincing.
Not so much.
No. I'm sure it will be completely and totally fine.
I'm sorry, what
Don't know if
rank
you're
are you
anxious
exactly?
stammering.
I am the captain.
Okay.
I've been a captain for 5 years now.
So,
The old captain died and no one else wanted to really take up the position, so I kind of slipped into it.
Slipped is right.
But we do a good job and we make sure to reinforce the peace, even though there isn't much peace to be reinforced because everyone's quite peaceful over here. But in general, everything seems to be okay. There is the odd rumor going around about those creatures, but that's nothing to worry about either. Are you new to Aegis?
creatures.
Creatures in Aegis.
Yes, well, it's mostly bogeyman's story, really and truly. Once every so often, some some late worker or some night shift person might get in touch and let us know that some strange beasts are running around, especially in the south part of the city. But there's no evidence of that really and truly. And we've done a full investigation, I promise you. It's been very what's the word? Thorough. Yes, it's been very thorough.
Okay. All right. So,
Does
Captain,
this guy look
how-
like he's seen a day of fight in his life?
That was out of character. He looks
This
he
guy all
looks
prim and
like
proper, like you know,
yeah.
nails,
Yes,
hands are
he's
soft,
really
the best,
very prim and proper. Yeah,
So this guy has
Oh,
a
no.
combat ever.
he has a sword by his side. But he
Very clean, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
he looks like he might probably be more comfortable lifting a pen than a sword in the first place. To be
Well,
honest,
pen is mightier than a sword, so
that is true. Yes, Ensign Hex, you were going to ask something?
Yes. How about we stop just calling them rumors and you just give us all the information you have just at the get-go? It would probably
that
just
would
save
be
us a lot
best.
of hassle later.
Well,
agree.
it's nothing to worry about for your group. Your group is just being hired out in order to make sure that the fair tomorrow goes well. However, we have communicated all our investigation documents and such with these spears of Norn. They don't seem to have been too worried about it, though.
All right.
Is there any more information that you are withholding?
I'm not withholding anything.
You seem to have been withholding the creatures.
No. The creature's not a problem. They're only seen in the south side. We have our fair going on in the north part of the city. It's going to be in the Royal Gardens. We have nothing to worry about whatsoever. Also, these creatures appear to only come out at night, so we don't need to worry about that for sure.
Okay, then.
This will be fine. I'm sure it will be completely and totally fine. But if you have any points, and he takes out the like really tiny ledger and a tiny pen. If you have any points or notes, I'm glad to take them into consideration.
I have just one point so far. You have said that it will be fine about 15 times so far.
I was about to say
So I'm
the same
inclined
thing.
not to believe it.
He pauses halfway
don't
through,
use the word
realizing
very.
what he's writing down. No, it will be fine.
16.
I'm sure.
Maybe don't use the word worry so much with the next group, or you will worry them.
No, we don't need to worry. I'm sure it
No
will.
need to worry, yes.
It will be
Yes, yes.
fine. I'm sure.
No need to worry.
Okay.
We haven't
So what
had
now, Captain Worry?
apart from the Browns chickens running amok last week, we haven't had a singular case of problems in over a year. So it'll be totally fine.
Well, I like this man. He's entertaining
Right.
at least.
Well. If you have any other questions about security detail, I'm happy to answer them. If not, perhaps we can order some lunch.
Food,
tell me
yes.
about the Royal Gardens.
The Royal Gardens, yes.
Tell me the layout.
Oh, well, I can bring you a cartographer who can show you a map of them if you would like.
Yes, that will work.
Or I can draw it for you.
They both work. Just a quick narrative. Is it walled? What are the entrances? How does one get in and one get out?
He looks like ideas are just striking him out of the blue that he never would have considered before. He's like, oh, those are very good questions. I will ask them and get back to you.
Are there any sniper nests close to the area?
Sniper nests.
Yes, so us archers can have an advantage over the enemies.
Oh, right. Well, yes. You could perch on the walls of the palace. They overlook the garden. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, and where is that on the map exactly?
He draws like a really rough circle with two smaller circles on either side of it, and behind it a block that says castle on it. And he's like, "There you go.
Nah, professional.
That would be here." So it points along the bottom of the square. That would be here.
I think
We
it's
have the
easier if we
gardens
have a
over
look
here.
ourselves.
The entrance points that you asked about, I suppose. Well, the garden is completely open, so mostly everywhere would be open. Probably yes.
Is there anywhere I can
Don't
hide?
really sound sure.
Yes, you could possibly hide in the bushes. Why would you want to be hiding?
That's for me to know and you to find out.
Yes. I was told that your group is specialized in infiltration. It might be an excellent idea if you mingled with the guests.
Hmm.
Perfect. Yes.
That could be achieved.
All right. Okay, then.
That might be a slight problem, but
Well, we can have the more apparent overseeing security detail and the less apparent security overseeing detail. If that works.
Mhm.
sure.
Whatever that means, strange man.
Whatever that
He's
means.
writing down everything you're saying.
Also, since you're writing down, I'm quite sure that you have no idea how plans work before we presented to the group. You're supposed to do a bit of field work before, have a scan of the layer, see what's vulnerable and what's not.
I can get those for you.
Yeah, you should do those beforehand, though. Just a tip for future.
Plan things
well-
beforehand.
It should be quite obvious.
It should be quite obvious. Yes.
I mean, I think
okay,
we can eat
Captain.
now.
Yeah,
I think we're done
gonna
here.
Yeah, I think we should move on.
I'm hungry.
We are hungry. Okay, we can order. The waiter, Jacques Oufoufouz, comes back to the table and takes your orders. He looks slightly pale as he glances at you, Shalki. Brings you some food, and you spend a good part of the afternoon discussing and teaching Captain Potts about security detail for the coming day. Now, because you now have an idea of what you're going to be doing the next day, is there anything in particular you would like to prepare? No? All right. Okay. Yes.
yeah. Is the perimeter public, or is the perimeter of the gardens public?
Are you asking for? Yes, it's completely open to the public now.
Yeah, okay. So
That's
as
very safe.
preparation, I check the sniper's pit. I check to see if there is any places which can actually be vulnerable. I'm securing the perimeter.
Sure.
I'm checking the perimeter beforehand, so we'd have less of a problem.
Sure. So let's say in the afternoon that you meet Captain Potts, he brings you a nicely detailed map of the royal garden, which, like I said, was just a large circle with two smaller circles on either side. Now, they are technically sort of closed off in the sense that there are hedges that tall hedges that can be found all along the perimeter of the garden itself. They're about 3 meters high. So in order to get in, you normally come in from the front where there is a large opening that has a couple of steel doors that have been hammered into the ground, steel gates so that these can be swung open and closed. Also, you can see on the map itself that at the back of the garden, yes, this is basically backed up against the wall of the palace, which might be a considered sniping position, a sniper nest for you if you'd like. So, rolling on into the next day, as you guys come up to the garden, Captain Potts greets you. What is the first thing that you said you wanted to do, Pons, when you get to the garden?
It's like I'm gonna have a feel for the area.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to try to get more used to it. So for tomorrow we'll be more prepared.
Okay, all right. Let's say this is on the day. So the next day you go there, morning, early afternoon, something like that. And as you come up to the gates, you find Captain Potts over there, and you find 5 other individuals. As you come up, Captain Potts introduces you to the rest of the City Watch. Thank you, Group 13, for coming to meet us. I would like to introduce you to my fellow colleagues, my men and women at arms. This is Private Rick Pilfreys and Private Todd Millers. He points at a short, stocky-looking dwarf and a tall, very lanky young man with quite bad acne. They just go, oh, hello. This is Private Cal Stormtoe. This is a small halfling who looks up at you and goes, a pleasure to be making your acquaintance, to be sure. Private L-8R, we have a joke, we call him Private Later. Warforged Unit L-8R reporting for service. Pleased to meet you. Private First Class Julie Sandwains. This is a very large woman with just a flock of shocking pink hair. Her muscles are sort of bulging and straining against the uniform that she's wearing. And as she looks at you, she goes, it's a pleasure to meet Spear representatives. And finally, Corporal Alpharite Dunes. And he points at the last person, who is a slightly older looking dragonborn wearing round spectacles, who sort of puffs, and you see little plumes of smoke coming out of his nose as he adjusts his spectacles and goes, well, Private First Class Julie Sandwains, Private Later, Private Cal Stormtoe, Private Rick Pilfreys, and Private Todd Mithers have already voiced their pleasure at your acquaintance, which of course was first announced by Captain Potts upon your arrival. I, Corporal Apharite Dunes, echo the pleasure in welcoming you with the same enthusiasm that Private First Class Julie Sandwains, Private Later, Private Cal Stormtoe, Private Rick Pilfreys, and Private Todd Mithers have ministered in their own greetings.
Metal
Welcome.
Man, please hold me before I punch him.
Gladly. I hold her.
Right. Well, now that you've met the
I
rest
use
of
Mage Hand with the flies and hold him as well.
you hold
I hold him with the flies.
Okay. Right. Now that you've met the crew, then would you like to scope out the area?
No.
Sure
Yes,
thing,
good idea.
Yes.
Right. Where would you like to start? And as he looks at you, you see him taking out his little ledger and his little pen.
Can I meet the royal family?
They are currently at a lunch. However, they will be attending the fair later on.
Yeah, but it's best that we talk to them now about the rumors.
The room. There are no. He sort of panics as he sees you mentioning them in front of the others. There are no rumors here at Aegis. Only silly things that people say. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. Like I said, it will all be fine.
Secret.
I'm sure we should.
Say,
No secrets. No secrets. There are no secrets here.
Since I'm pretty sure I've broken this down with the DM, however, maybe the characters don't know. My character has no idea on how humans actually react. So if he's panicked, he won't care. He has a lack of
Fair enough.
manners in any way.
No filter.
So
Okay.
won't be shocked by what I'm saying.
The character release.
But what were you talking about yesterday in the tavern?
Nothing whatsoever. The security detail. That's what we were discussing. Please, Ensign Pan, Ensign Shalki. Let's get back on track, shall we? Yes. Scoping the Royal Gardens. Let's scope. How do we scope?
Well, we could just search around, I guess. But then again, I could also just send Agares up and maybe she can get a bird's eye view.
Good idea.
Oh, that didn't work.
Is that an imp?
Well, yes. Have you never seen one before?
Not up close. And as he sort of
there you
leans
go.
close, as he sort of leans close to her, you just see Agris looking up at Captain Boss and just going, "This one's an idiot."
I think they all are actually, dear.
And she
I
just
know
sort
them
of
agree.
trots back along your arm.
Yes, I suggest
to your
you
shoulder.
take bird form and just fly around a bit, see if you can get some information for us.
As you wish, Master.
Thank you.
She swirls into the crow form and sort of begins to fly upwards to scout out the area from the top. Are you using the Find Familiar to look through her eyes, or are you just...
No, she'll just relay information when she's back. Since she can talk, I don't really need to.
Okay. That is most convenient. We should get one of those. Corporal Aphrite, write that down. And you see Corporal Aphrite, the old Dragonborn, also has his own tiny ledger that he takes out, sort of like religiously scribbling in it. So, scope. Should we do the scoping? Are we scoping right now? Is this scoping?
Sort of.
I need to scope out the area for any hiding places.
Okay. I shall accompany you.
Show me.
He just
Let's
sort
go
of
then.
begins to follow you as you wander around the Royal Gardens.
Okay.
In the Royal Gardens, Echo, you can see he's just sort of like walking slowly behind you and trying to see whatever you're up to from behind you. Within the Royal Gardens, as you guys enter, you can see that several different stalls have been set up. Off in the corner, there's this a long maypole that has blue, red, and gold ribbons that are coming down the sides of it. On the other side, there are several little multicolored tents that have been set up, and also a large purple wagon that's solar. You ever seen those limos that are driving around Malta sometimes? It's about that length, you know, like the correct width for a cart, but ridiculously long and purple, painted brightly purple with little yellow dots all over it.
Nice.
You see, let's see. Yes, you see a few other stalls that are still being set up, a couple of tents that are still being erected, and the owners of these different small establishments and institutions that are working on them. The Royal Garden also has within it a few what are probably going to be entertainments for the evening. You can see a sort of large pit that is being cordoned off with wooden stakes with ropes attached to them. And in the center, someone has deposited a large amount of sand within the center of it. Off to one side, you can see different large ceramic objects that three people are trying to awkwardly squeeze and clip together. They seem to be trying to assemble something. And you can see even at the back, there is this large wooden platform. And on top of it, there are 4 chairs that have been placed that all have a very high back and sort of arms that come out at the side. Probably this is where you would assume the royal family would sit down during the festival itself. The royal garden is in itself, without the preparations are being made, the royal gardens are quite beautiful. It's all winding paths and large green trees and also small hedges all along the paths itself. Echo, as you're looking around, yes, you notice several spots where you could possibly hide away and avoid line of sight of people, if that is what you're looking for. Shami, what is Flint up to at the moment?
So Flint is following, but he is wandering across the path. So if they're walking in a straight line, he's going off to the left, coming back, off to the right, going back. In particular, Are there any entrances to like a sewer, what would appear to be underground, somewhere where someone can enter from the bottom? Or is it just pure turf?
Okay. First roll of the night. Give me an investigation check. So that'll be /R, 1d20 plus whatever your investigation modifier is.
That is a whopping -1.
Ah.
Okay. Wait, I did not see that pop up in chat for some reason.
Because I didn't put the right. Hang on. -1. -1. It's a 15.
All right.
16 on die -1.
All right. Okay. So 15. Fantastic. Okay. We'll go with that because that's the road that I can see over there. So 15. With 15, yeah, you do notice a couple of sewer grates. These sewer grates are positioned particularly next to the more agricultural parts of the royal garden, sort of where you can see flower beds and stuff. You can notice where these holes have been tastefully placed so that they are mostly hidden by the hedges that surround them, and you could assume these are probably to drain away any water that might be leaking out of the flower beds. So you can see little furrows in the ground that sort of channel the water towards the grates themselves. You spot 4 grates as you are walking around the royal gardens.
I tug on the first one I see.
Sure. No need for a check here. It seems to be very securely fastened in.
Okay.
As you look at the grate, you notice that there is a small latch off to the side. The latch appears a little bit worn, a little bit rusty, and as you sort of move it, you can see that it does move, which would allow you possibly to lift up and operate the grate.
I look to see who's the closest of the group next to me, and I kind of signal.
Sure. Well, Echo is off doing her thing with Captain Potts. Shalki, you said you were scouting the walls to see if you can get a good sniping position, so we'll get to you in a moment. So Hex, yeah, you notice Hex wandering around nearby.
I call out.
Yes?
I motion to you,
I'm
and I point to the grill.
Ah, yes. Potential entrances, I see.
And I literally tug it. I remove the latch and tug it up to show that.
Yeah, it just comes straight up with a mild sound as metal squeaks against rust and shit.
Are they large enough that a person can pass through?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're like manhole size.
So yeah, manhole size. Okay. All right.
How deep does it look?
As you peer down, you can see that there's a sewer tunnel. There's a drop of maybe like 10 feet down, and you can see flowing water going by underneath.
Well, that is a problem. How many have you found so far?
There's 4.
Oh. Well, we could keep an eye on a few of them, or maybe just cover them up with something. I don't think we'll have an issue with water during the actual proceedings, I hope.
Out of character, what season are we in?
You are in springtime.
Weather is sunny.
Weather right now, it's really warm and sunny, so you can feel the rays of the sun lapping against your skin. It's really nice and warm. There are the bees out and birds out. Yeah, it is a typical lovely springtime at the moment.
Okay.
I turn to Hex. 100-pound weight. We'll stop this one.
Well, we will need 4 of them, but yes, good plan. We will need to close them up, definitely. Or then again, we could just stand on one of them each. See what happens.
All right.
I will proceed to visit the other ones and do the same thing to see how open or closed these things are.
Okay. As you go to the different to these different grates in the ground and inspect them, the second and the third one seem to be completely fine. It's slightly rusty and slightly worn. The third one has a latch that has been snapped off, or maybe it just broke off when someone was opening it or something. However, it doesn't even have its latch anymore.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, the latches can only be operated from like top side, not from below, and it would be very difficult for someone to actually like stick their hands through the admittedly very thin holes of this grate in order to try and operate the latch itself.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the nearest one of the captain's men to me?
As you take a look around, you notice Private Rick Pilfreys and Private Todd Mithers. This is the short, stocky-looking dwarf and the tall, lanky young human with acne. They appear to be having a talk. You can hear slightly raised voices, and all of a sudden you hear Todd Mithers, the human, going, "No, I don't think a cow weighs that much. You're going to have to check again." "Well, laddie, I've been watching cows for all my life. I know what a cow weighs." They seem to be having an argument.
I approach them both. I'd imagine that dwarves have a greeting within themselves, right?
Sure, yeah, of course. There'd be some sort of signal, sort of acknowledging, hey, you are another member of my race. Perhaps a quick arm grasp, something along those lines,
Okay.
sort of thing.
Flint
It's
does
a
that.
pleasure to meet you.
Flint does that. And immediately tells them, "Lads, come with me. I found your first problem." And walks them to the grate that you mentioned that has the latch broken.
Problem? Why is he finding problems? Right, okay, all right. Well, that's what they're here for, isn't it? And they follow you. I see that. What's the problem?
Your latch there is broken. Look at your other grates. The latch isn't broken. Rusty, maybe, but not broken.
It's probably been worn down with time. I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's fine, isn't it? And he sort of scuffs it with his shoe. Maybe we can get someone to sit on it. You should
If you
sit
have-
on there, Rick.
If you have a heavy weight, that would be great for the grids. It's spring, guys. Come on, it's nice and hot. There's no rain.
We could get a stone.
Big one.
A big stone. Right, you heard the man. We're getting a big stone, Rick.
4 big
They
stones.
toddle on. 4 big stones. Why do we need 4 big stones?
Because you have 4 grades, and I point to them.
Because we have 4 grades. Keep up, Rick. And they toddle off to find you 4 big stones. Right. Guys, we've been going for 55 minutes. We are going to take a 5-minute break, and we will be back at 9 o'clock to continue. Okay, so go do your pee breaks, go and have your smokes, go and do whatever. Go ahead and mute your mics, of course. Top up your drinks if you haven't topped them up yet. Mir, you're allowed to drink now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I really need to pee. So 5-minute break. Go, 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 go. See you guys in 5.
See you
All right.
soon.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hey, Punzi.
Hey.
I still need to get used to your character names. I should start referring to you all by your character names because I almost called you Ensign Puns at one point.
Yeah. Oh, there's more something related. So I'll send on Discord.
Mhm.
I'll send on. Actually, the stream camera just so unrelated to the campaign. I have started a Goblin Lives Matter movement because
Oh.
one of the teachers insulted one of the characters and how they look.
Boss.
And being the person who created them, I got offended like a parent of telling their child they're ugly. So, hence,
Goblin lives
Goblin lives
matter.
matter.
I agree with you, Puns.
exactly.
Goblin lives matter too. For shame to this teacher. For shame.
Yeah.
Okay, need to start referring to you guys by your character name so I remember. So Shalky, Hex, Flint, and Echo.
So decided
Shalky,
to
Hex,
talk a
and
bit
Echo.
to the chat,
Hmm?
I also decided to talk a bit to the chat,
Mary, you're muted.
Yeah,
Oh
they're
yeah,
nice people.
we're live streaming this. I forgot.
Yeah, we're live streaming, yeah.
Hi, chat.
There's an actual chat, like people
Yeah,
actually
there
watch
is
it.
an actual chat. This is Twitch.
Oh no.
How many people do we have watching?
Yeah, we have 12 people, and then there's me.
Really?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite amazing,
Hi,
actually.
12 people.
no.
Hello, people.
No, you're not laughing about chat, okay? We appreciate you. Without you, the show wouldn't exist. Sort of.
I would still DM anyway. Right. let's get
Yeah,
back
we would
into it.
still play, but
So-
the sponsors sponsor us so people watch us,
That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so Eagle Eye View, the beautiful bluestone city of Aegis. And as you're getting closer, you can start to identify the different regions, the more elegant upper class eastern part, the more mercantile side of it off to the west, the slightly more impoverished south side, and the regal place where all the nobles and the ladies live to the north side. And then as you zoom in, you can see the green circles of the royal palace and rising above them, the royal gardens, and rising above them, the royal palace. And as we get close to the bastions of the royal palace, we see a little swarm of insects surrounding this blue-skinned figure and a short halfling standing right behind him. Shalky, as you are peering over the bastions, overlooking the royal gardens, Private Cal Stormtoe, the halfling, pipes up from behind you and goes, "So, are you checking out the bastions? Are we going to be okay? I'm sure we're going to be okay. If anyone comes along, we'll go and give them a good kicking, aren't we?"
Hold your horses, my friend. We are just checking it for now. We are not actually going to fight them.
Oh, we're
It's
going to
just
fight.
a
You know we're
search.
going to fight anyone. I'm really, really good. I got a fantastic right hook and a fantastic kick.
Yeah, I don't think those will happen. Those will help that much. They will. They. I think they. If they are coming for they are coming for royalty. I'm pretty sure they'll be armed with more than just fists.
I have my sword. And he takes out this really tiny little sword. Will this work?
No, not really. No, not really. It's quite
His
small.
enthusiasm doesn't seem to be deflated as he goes, no, I'll stab him good. I'll stick him good.
Sure, if you say so.
So what are you looking for? Are you looking for sniper spots? Are you looking for a place where we can see the enemy? What sort of enemy are we looking for? What color are they? How tall will they be?
We are looking for some bandits, maybe. They might be coming for. There is this rumor, there is a rumor that he looked quite stressed when I talked about it in the courtyard. Or in the
Captain
garden.
Potts. Oh, he always looks stressed. That's fine.
Okay. He didn't look stressed yesterday, though.
Oh, no, it's okay. He's always writing down in that little book of his. I don't like books very much. They're not very good for the appetite. But I do like to have a good old knocking with someone. That's always fun as well. So what are you looking for? Is this your first time here? Is this your first mission? What was your first mission? How did you join Spirits of Nod?
Calm down. First mission doesn't really matter for this. However, it is the first time I've been here. And it's always best that you have a feel for the area before you actually start to protect it and search around for it. If sniper's nests are best for people like me who use a bow and arrow, we need to have a good view of the garden and the surrounding area so that we can actually be safe attacking from our own safe range and with what we're comfortable with.
So are you going to be up here during the fair? You're not going to come down and have a good time. There'll be lovely stuff going on. There's this popcorn. It's amazing popcorn. Popper makes it. It's fantastic. It'll melt in your mouth. It has cheese in it.
I'm pretty sure they won't appreciate my presence or my friend's presence. I'm pointing at the swarm of flies just behind him.
Oh, no, they're nice. And he reaches out to try and pat the flies.
Yeah. I use Mage Hand to pet him instead.
They like me.
Yeah, they are very nice, but these people are more of they don't really treat flies like as much as I treat them. I've grown with them. They are my friends. They are my companions. They are also part of my family.
But you'll be missing all the fun if you stay up here.
We are assigned to do a job. It's best that we take care of the job. Maybe the others might have fun, but I'm pretty sure that it's best that I keep a lookout.
Yes, we should do our duty. And he sheaths his sword. Right. We're going to pan the camera around, swoop down towards the royal gardens below, where a orange frizzy-haired individual is being followed through the gardens by Captain Potts. Have you found anything? Have you found anything of interest yet?
Potentially. Were these well hidden from the public?
Is what well hidden from the public?
these areas I have scoped out?
No,
Ones I
no,
have
the
chosen?
public will be everywhere. This is all open to the public.
That might be a problem. Well,
Out of character, is there anything in particular that Echo is looking for?
yeah. Ability to change without people noticing.
Well, you have the stalls that are lined up on the left-hand side of the royal gardens. You could potentially duck behind there in order to change. You're probably just going to find the stall owners, and most of them are going to be at the front selling their wares regardless. So it might be a suitable location to do a quick Superman, you know?
That's practically it. That's the reason. That and, rogue.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay, so we're going to time skip forward a little bit, a few hours in, unless there was anything else you guys wanted to check or scope out.
Well, I'm assuming Agaras came back and told us if there's anything important.
No, nothing important as such. It is simply the layout of the royal gardens itself. Okay. She informs you of a few good vantage points that you could possibly use. There appears to be just one main entrance. However, the hedges, whilst they are like 3 meters high, they're not unscalable.
Okay.
They're hedges. At the end of the day, you could potentially scale them. They're easier than smooth stone walls, of course.
Yeah.
So we're going to compress. Yes, we're not going to compress.
Flint would tell Captain Potts what he instructed the other two to do.
Yes. Oh, right. Of course. You actually, what you see is you find Todd Millers and Rick coming back, and behind them the heavy, hulking, muscular form of First Class Julie Sandwains, who's carrying 2 large stones underneath each arm, whilst Rick and Todd are both sort of struggling with their own large stone. And as they come up to you guys, Todd looks up at you. Where do you want it?
I point to the various grid.
Right, one over here. Rick, you heard him. The other's over there. My darling Julie, would you be so kind as to put one of the stones over here and the other one over there? You see Julie walking off with 2 stones after she gives a curt nod to both of you. And Rick sort of struggling underneath his own stone. I don't know why I was given the heaviest one. It's not fair. As he goes and places it up on the grate as well. Was there anything else that you noticed?
Before he does that, I want to take this, to establish how heavy this is. So I want to kind of like, as he's putting it down, I want to catch it from underneath him and just test the weight test the weight of it.
Okay. Hey, give me a quick strength check. Actually, what is your passive strength? Just tell me your passive strength.
What's that? 10 plus strength modifier?
No. Your ability score strength.
Oh, my ability score strength. So that's 13.
13. It's something that you could lift with a little bit. With a bit of hassle. It would take you a few moments, sort of, as the stone is dropping, you sort of like, okay, yeah, they found some large rocks. These are definitely going to deter people.
Good.
Okay. So they take the stones, they place them down on the grates. As they're doing so, the dragonborn Corporal Aphorite comes up to you. Goes, I I see that you are placing these stones upon the grates. I assume it was your idea to place the stones upon the grates, and that is why you have instructed Private Rick Pilfries, Private Todd Mithers, and First Class Julie Sandways in order to Private First Class Julie Sandways in order to place these stones upon the grates, because this was probably your idea that you instructed. Is that correct?
Aye, lad. Come. And I'll take him to the one. I take him to the one that's broken.
Mm-hmm.
To the grill that has the latch broken, and I point to it. What's wrong with that?
Well, it appears that the metal has probably eroded over time, thus causing a chain reaction in the chemistry of the grate, thus weakening the internal integral strength of the latch, thus breaking it.
Very good. Come with me. I walk to one of the other ones. What's good with that?
Well, if we are trying to build a comparison between the grades that you just walked me from and the grade that you have walked me to, I would say that in this case, the latch is still there.
Very good. Now you appreciate why the stones are here.
I am not very good with security, so I will leave that up to you.
Very good. I give him a good hearty slap on the shoulder and walk away.
Is there anything else that you need help with?
I think
because we are the City Watch and you are the Spears of North, we are here in order to be supervised by you, and therefore, because we are providing security detail, if there is anything that you need help with, you should inform us.
I turn back to him. Tell me, when was the last time you saw combat?
I remember 40 years ago, we had a little bit of a scuffle with the river drakes. That was in 1966, yes. Old Mother Murdoch had just delivered her first batch of cow linen to the grocers, and we had heard about the river drakes, and they had asked us to come in order to detain them.
I again give him a hearty clap on his arm. Very good. Clap him again. Let's hope you don't see it again.
Well, Captain Potts has informed us it will all be fine, and we should believe in our captain. Okay, so we will compress time a little bit and move forward a couple of hours. The celebrations of the first fair begin as the public of Aegis start to filter in through the gates. There's a feeling of excitement in the air. You guys would know, this is common knowledge, that the first fair is in order to commemorate the arrival of the first settlers to the New World. It happens annually, and it is normally hosted in a different city every year. And this year, it is Aegis's turn to host the event. It is something that attracts people from beyond the borders of whatever city it is being hosted in. Many people normally come from all over the Kingslands in order to participate in this event, and it is normally highly anticipated. So as the gardens begin to fill up, you see humans wearing different colors of tabards of all sorts of different cities and towns and factions representing different parts of the Kingslands, filtering in. A lot of them with young children who look very enthusiastic as they start to march up to the different stalls and the different sorts of entertainment that can be found within the Royal Gardens. What are you guys doing individually whilst this is happening? Are you mingling with the crowd? Are you staying with the City Watch, who, by the way, most of the members appear to be partaking in the events in such a way that they still look official to a certain extent, but they do seem to be enjoying themselves at the same time. There's very relaxed sort of attitude, even among the City Watch. They don't really seem to be worried about anything untoward happening. However, you do notice that Private First Class Julie Sandways and also Corporal Aphrodite, the Dragonborn, have been posted at the steel gates that have been now opened at the front of the Royal Garden. Julie seems to just be standing there with her arms crossed, very bouncer style, whilst Corporal Aphrodite is speaking to every person as they come inside, and he seems to be jotting down some details, perhaps their names or something like that, as they filter in through the gates. What are you guys up to?
My character is holding back and scanning the crowd.
Mhm.
I have to ask, is there anything shiny? Any chance, like very shiny, that stands out?
I tell you what, I will go through some of the different stalls and entertainment that's going on in a moment, and then you tell me if there's anything that stands out to you. Is that fair?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh no.
Shalki, what about you? Are you have you positioned yourself upon the bastions, or are you going to come down and mingle?
First, I check if the town's guard are doing all right. I mean, we might be better than them in every single way. They look like fucking idiots. But it's best more people, the more
Incompetence is
people
not a
that have-
crime in Aegis.
Exactly. The more people, the better. So I'll make sure that they're in. Even though they're having
Okay.
fun, I don't have a problem with that. But I need to make sure that they aren't too intoxicated, that they are still alert to any dangers that might arrive.
Sure. Yes. As you wander through the crowd, you have Private Cal, the little halfling, who's following closely at your heels. He seems to be slightly enamored by you being a spear of Norn, and he's constantly yapping away at you from behind as you walk through, as you go through the crowd. So, like, do you think we're going to find anything? Would you like to try some of the food? The popcorn is absolutely fantastic. Shall I get some popcorn? They put this lovely cheese and caramel paste on it. It's absolutely fabulous. Would you like some? I'm sure
Quiet down. I know you're excited. However, we must remain vigilant. And please don't get too ahead of yourself.
Is that a yes to the popcorn?
Take one.
Okay, I'll get some popcorn. Shall I bring some for the flies as well?
No. They already ate.
Okay, I'll be right back. And he scuttles off.
Thank God. He doesn't stop yapping.
Hex, what are you up to?
Hex will basically transform into his elven form and just wander around the grounds, just mingling in with the rest of the guests.
Sure. All right. So we got
Obviously,
mingling.
yes. Obviously, at this point, I'll also have Agares and Crow form just circling around, and just keeping an eye on anything that could happen.
Okay. All right. And what about Flint? What is Flint up to?
Flint would mingle around the crowd. In particular, he would like to talk to the royal family, in particular to the boys, to kind of assess what these guys are going to do if shit goes down.
Okay. You do notice that the seats of the royal family are currently unoccupied at the moment. It is, however, still very early in the afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock, something like that. So perhaps they might come up later. So as you guys wander around the stalls, let's see, Shalki, as you're moving forward, you find in front of you this quite large circular stand that has on top of it a small tent that is held up by wooden poles. The tent itself is has strips of red and white running across the top of it. There's this lovely smell of cooking cheese and of butter coming from it. You see a small gnome with very neatly combed back hair, and he's wearing an apron. And he appears to be selling sweet cheese and caramel covered popcorn. As you walk up to this, you notice Cal turning around with two very large bags of popcorn that he's sort of enthusiastically holding in both hands, and turns to you and goes, "Look, I got us some popcorn. It's delicious." He hands one to you.
Well, thank you, but I think it's too big. I just wanted to try one of yours, maybe, but I got my own bag.
Once you start, you can't pop. Get it? Pop. I made the joke. It's because popcorn is pop, and it's because it's funny.
Sure, but what is popcorn exactly?
Well, what we do is we take the little white and brown things that are inside the corn, and we heat them up, and they start going pop, 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 pop. Don't you have this where you come from? It's very normal over here in Aegis. And what we do is then we take some really soft, lovely cheese, and we sort of pour it over it, and then we get some caramel, and we pour that over it as well, and we make this. But Popper does it best. And he indicates back at the gnome with the neatly combed hair with the apron, sort of winks at you as you turn in his direction.
Here,
try it out. It tastes delicious.
Yeah, I'll try it. I take popcorn from his hand and I'll raise it to show. Sure, I'll try them out to the chef.
Sure. As you do so, you feel your flies all around you just starting to get really excited. The smell of butter and the smell of sweet caramel in the air is practically intoxicating for them. However, you have full control of these things. They're sort of urging you to let them have a nibble. Would you like to do that?
So first I try them out for myself.
It's warm and delicious. It's exactly what you would not expect because you've never tried anything like this before. It sort of crunches under your teeth, and as it does so, there's this lovely syrup that bursts out of the popcorn kernel itself and fills your mouth with caramel. You're pretty sure there's some sort of enchantment that went into this because the size of the kernel versus the size of the liquid, the delicious liquid in your mouth, is a bit disproportionate, but it tastes absolutely amazing. Very sweet with just a hint of blue cheese.
Oh, this is great. No, but we are on a job, so I'll save it for later. I think it might still stay good. Fine. I grab a fistful and I throw it to the ground and say, "Enjoy, my friends."
Okay. Hex, as you're walking through the crowd, you come across the what appears to be a sort of boutique of sorts. There is a large canvas that has been stretched across several poles. The canvas is bright pink in nature. Below it, and even before you even step up to it, there is this... Wait, can you smell?
Me?
I don't think
no,
so.
Hex.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you don't notice any sort of smell then.
No.
However, anyone in the vicinity who does have an operable nose would smell just this vast fragrance, this vast array of different fragrances of flowers. As you step up to the boutique, you can see several very exotic looking flora on display, all of them arranged in very elegant bunches. In between them, you see several bottled liquids. There appear to be different types of perfumes stoppered up in different colored glasses. You also notice several little boxes, like little gifts, and they have their tops open, and spilling out of them are these multicolored little candied sweets. Off to the side, there also appears to be necklaces that are dangling from the roof of this stall. They have intertwined into them crystals and little feathers, all sorts of very boutique-esque paraphernalia. As you step up, a tall person, he has blue hair that sort of sweeps back and sweeps all the way down his back. No eyebrows to speak of. A long face with no facial hair whatsoever. Wearing a smashing pink robe with inlaid with gold lining all along the sides, that steps up to you and goes, welcome to the Whistleblower. My name is Guy Summerspark. What can I be getting you today, my lovely elven friend? A love potion, perhaps? A bouquet of dragonas for a intimate lady friend, or perhaps gentleman friend, whatever tickles your fancy. What can I serve you with today?
Honestly, I am just browsing. What do you have for sale? I see some nice trinkets hanging around here. What are these?
Yes, these are what I like to call charisma necklaces. Put one of these on and you'll be the star of the crowd. Here, let me try one for you. Stay right there. And he sort of rushes off, comes back with 3 different necklaces. Each of them has these weird crystals that have been embedded into them. One of them has a small silver medallion, and he starts putting them onto you. No, that's not the right shape for you. No. Let's try another one. It doesn't bring out the color of your eyes properly. Let's try another one. What about this one? That looks fabulous. It's this really large, like this size chunk of pink crystal that's so heavy that you just sort of go, okay. As he places it around you. Along it, there's like this gold inlay all around it. It seems to be some sort of metal, and there are tiny chains that are hanging off the sides, and each of them has a tiny figurine of a little cherub hanging off of it. That really compliments you. It doesn't in the slightest.
Well, I don't think so. Though, thank
No?
you. No. As I said, I am just browsing, but maybe I'll check another stall. I don't think these are for me.
Well, and he takes it off. Well, perhaps I might interest you in something of a virility and fertility aid. I also specialize in those.
No, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. How about do you trade in information maybe?
Information? What sort of
Yes.
information?
Have you heard about any goings on at the festival lately?
Goings on? No, to be honest with you, I'm not from Aegis. I just came here to sell my wares. You know, the first fair and everything. It's fantastic fun, absolutely fabulous.
Yes, extremely fun. I'll tell you what. I'll go get someone who might be interested in your wares. How about that?
That would be excellent. That would be absolutely fantastic. Would you like to take a rose with you?
How much is a rose?
Oh, it's free, a gift.
Oh, perfect. Yes, thank you very much.
One moment. And he takes a pair of scissors, clips off the bottom of it, and then sort of tries to fit it onto your robe, sort of thing, just like,
Yes.
you look amazing. Just a doll. See you later, handsome.
Yes, see you in a few days. Bye-bye.
Flint, as you move through the crowd, you notice the cart, the long purple cart with the yellow spots painted onto it. It appears to have gathered a little bit of a crowd. You can see now that the cart itself has been populated by all sorts of these little jugs, little glass jugs that are full of powders and different liquids and creams. As you're walking by, a hand reaches out from the crowd, grabs you by the arm, and lifts your arm into the air. And you see another hand reaching out and sort of like doing this to your arm. As you stare, you realize that there's some sort of cream that's being applied to your arm. And as you look for the source of the arm, you see older-looking gentleman, slightly balding, go, well, if you put this on your arm like this, you see, you will have an arm as smooth as a baby skin. Yeah, try. And he lets go of your arm.
I examine it.
The hairs on your arm appear to be slowly falling off. There's like a little bit of cream placed along here. And as you do this, it's almost like you put shaving cream and shaved, except you didn't actually shave. Like just the shaving cream, and it's like, you now have a little patch like this with no hair.
Is there any tactile sensation? I.e. burning, pain?
No, it's just a little bit cool, that's it. No sensation.
Okay.
Well, you see, fantastic. This is Yorick's patented hair removal product. Absolutely fantastic for getting you smooth as a swimmer.
Laddie, have you not seen what I am? And I motion to my entire body.
Oh, you are a dwarf. Are you one of the dwarfs that's a little bit and wants to remove the beard?
No.
Oh, all right. Okay, then.
I see you're a man of chemicals.
Yes, I deal in ointments and salves. I have anything from hair removal products to getting rid of that strange itch that you can't quite get rid of from last week when you were, out partying a little bit. Everything you can think of.
Come down?
Yeah.
How tall is this guy? How tall is
normal size? Normal size for a human.
So 5 foot something, right?
Yeah.
I motion down to him. In a whisper, I tell him, do you have any mindset? As I'm saying that, I'm looking around me.
Well, follow me. And he sort of takes you around the back of the cart. As you go to the back, there's a small set of shelves that have been set up right behind the cart, and there's a drape partly pulled over them, but it looks like it's been moved slightly out of the way, and you see several little bottles and little containers inside that all appear to be sealed.
I would recognize them, right? Okay.
Mind mist, you say? We do have some of this. Moment. I can spare 3 blows.
How much?
That will cost you, let us say 4 gold for the lot.
Out of character, how
Mhm.
pricey is that? From my experience,
It's just slightly over what you would normally pay.
okay. Do I have the gold first of all? Yes, I do. I give him the 4 gold, and I stash it in my backpack.
He takes out, there are 3 little leather pouches, and all of them have been tied with a little bit of twine. And as you take them, you sort of hear the soft sound of the substance within as you pocket them into your bag. It was a pleasure doing business with you. I'm sorry I cannot spare any more. I am out of town this week, but I will be in next week. If you come to the Malgov Mercantile and speak to me, I am located in the southwest side of town. We might be able to do some more business.
Flint nods. Out of character, thought has crossed my mind, and I want to check with you whether you will allow it or not. So obviously Flint's gone around looking for entrances, but I'm thinking a bomb to the chair. So I'd like to examine the chairs if I can.
There are not really any chairs. It's mostly like a stand-up sort of festival.
The where the royal family will sit.
Oh, right. Okay. Sure. So that'll sort of lead you away from the stalls along the main thoroughfare. And as you make your way to the platform, you can see that no guards have yet been stationed at the wooden platform. There's a small set of steps that's off to one side. And as you walk up, you come across the 4 chairs. The chairs themselves have inlaid red velvet in the seating and in the cushioning of them themselves. And as you take a look at them, give me a quick investigation check.
Okay. So investigation. There's another -1. So a 2.
Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, as far as you can tell. They don't seem to be tampered with in any way. They're just 4 chairs that are just sitting on top of this wooden platform.
I'm trying to test what the reaction will be from the crowd and the city guard. So I didn't like sneak up. I kind of like boldly walked up onto the stage, and just kind of touched down the chairs. Do I see anyone spotting me? Do I see any reaction in the crowd?
You do see a few people who are walking nearby sort of give you a cursory look, sort of like, wonder what he's up to. As you walk by, you don't notice any members of the city watch paying attention, to be honest. You do notice Captain Potts off to one side, who appears to be speaking to a couple of individuals, and there's Corporal Afra right next to him. You also notice Rick and Todd appear to have engaged in a particular entertainment with this large ceramic dragon off to the side, which I'll get to as well. And obviously, Private First Class Julia Sandways is still at the steel gate next to Corporal Afrite and next to Captain Potts, and you don't notice any other members of the guards. Like I said, the crowd itself, you get a couple of cursory glances, but the general mentality seems to be, oh, well, if he's up there, he probably is meant to be up there.
Okay. From this standpoint, can I see any of the royal family?
No, but you do spot where they will probably enter from. There is, if you scoped out the grounds, you're aware of this, of course, from earlier. However, behind this wooden platform, which is almost right up against the back of the back of the royal gardens and against the bastions themselves. There is a small wooden door that opens into the gardens from the royal palace itself, which is probably where they will enter into the royal gardens from.
Okay, I'll hang around in this area.
Okay. All right. Echo, as you're walking along, you see a couple of people walking into this medium-sized looking tent that is completely pitch black. And on the front of it, across the top, there is written the Black Arrow.
Intriguing.
Yes, I know your.
Yeah, I sneak in after them.
I know your pressure points, Mir. It has arrow in the name.
Right. I sneak in after them.
Right. So as you enter inside, it's not what you expected it to be. It's quite. There's quite a lot of space because the wares have been set up as very thin tables that sort of span only the perimeter of the fence, except off to one side where there are no tables whatsoever. In the middle, you see a small black feathered bird-like figure. A creature that you might have encountered before. They are called kenku. They're a particular race of creature that were endemic to the New World before the settlers came here. And there seem to be a few people browsing the wares. As your eyes adjust a little bit to the gloom inside the tent, you notice the wares on the tables include calligraphy and cartography equipment, parchments, little ink pots, and quills upon quills of different colors, quills from all sorts of different exotic birds. Some of them are hanging from strings in the center of the room on display. Others are immaculately placed behind glass display cases. As you step inside, the kenku walks up to you and goes, "Greetings! Welcome to the Black Arrow. Would you like to purchase a quill or an inkpot? We also have fantastic maps for sale."
Maps of where?
Maps of everywhere you can think of. We have maps of Aegis, we have maps of the Kingslands, we have maps of the Pikelands, we have maps of the Flatlands. We have maps of everything.
Don't think I'll be needing that.
Oh, well, if you would like, you have a very nice fight. You might want to get a self-portrait. We have Barbara off in the corner. She's doing self-portraits right now, if you'd like.
Self-portrait?
Yes.
Definitely.
A portrait of yourself.
No. This is my one self. No, not happening.
You cut out. I'm not sure what you said.
I'm saying no, I don't. I would not like that. That is a bad idea, considering what I am.
Would you like to buy a quill, perhaps, or would you like to browse?
I would like to browse, if that is possible.
Of course. Please be my guest. And he turns to greet the next group of people who are coming into his tent. Yes, as you wander around, like I said, you can see all sorts of different cartography tools. There are also like a nice stack of scrolls, and in front of them there's a large map of the New Worlds that has been very beautifully drawn with exquisite detail. You remember somewhere in the back of your mind about kenkus being able to replicate something down to a T, like in really, really fine detail. And it sort of occurs to you very possibly that this creature is actually the person who also drew these maps. As you move further along, you find also different ink pots filled with different colors, not just black, but you have your reds and your greens and your blues. All sorts of different dyes have been mixed together to create fantastic colors for ink. You also notice this person that he mentioned, this Barbara, off to one side. She has a little canvas that's set up on an easel. Behind this, she is sitting on a stool, and she seems to be sort of looking at this a person who has sat down to pose in front of her, and appears to be drawing with such a rapidity. Such a rapidity to her that in the 5 minutes that you spend inside the tent, from the moment one person sat down till when they stood up again, it only seems to have taken 2 or 3 minutes for her to produce this marvelous portrait of them. Only in black and white, though, with no colors whatsoever.
Okay. It's very artistic, is what you're saying. Extremely.
Yes. Artistic, but not creative. It's more like almost she took a photo of them. Like it looks, she didn't do anything fancy to it. It looks like an identical picture of this person, but in black and white on a white canvas.
So this is technically a potential trigger. One, the characters, if you understand me. Basically,
I know. Yes.
I'm going to say, basically my character is talking to herself. She's going, oh, no, not now, not now, not now, not now. And she's going to try and find a place to quickly hide, at least. Am I gonna have to roll for that?
There's nowhere really to hide within the tent because, like I said, it's not a very large tent. And of course, like I said, the wares are placed in these thin tables along the side. So you just have people sort of moving in a line around them to sort of look at the wares with the Kenku in the middle greeting guests. There's nowhere within the tent itself to hide. But if you'd like to duck outside again, you probably find somewhere.
Yeah, duck outside.
You duck outside and look around. You peer behind the black tent. There's no one back there, and you scuttle behind the black tent. What would you like to do at this point?
Basically, my character is changing appearance and character because she's crazy, and she's turning into Korim, the high elf who enjoys the finer things in life. Basically, he just completely takes over. New character, basically.
Okay. Do you have a description of what he looks like?
Basically, long, light brown hair. Has a very like stubborn, snobbish look on his face. Very tall, very high elf-like.
You have such a racial stereotype against high elves.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, typical stereotypical high elf, basically.
All right. Okay, you change into Corinne. And we'll leave you there for a moment. Let's see who's still wandering through the crowd. Shalki, as you keep on wandering through the crowd, you notice the maypole where all the ribbons are made of blue, red, and gold, and there are lots of children dancing around them. And right next to them, you notice. Do you remember earlier I told you there were some people who had these large ceramic parts that they appeared to be trying to piece together in some way?
Yeah.
So what they appear to have made is a structure that's about the size of a large lorry in real times. What it is a large ceramic dragon with a very, very large belly that sort of sags down to the ground. So his legs are sort of like this, holding himself up. His head is tilted forward, and attached to his nose is this large red inflatable looking nose the size of basically a small horse. A crowd has sort of gathered around, and you suddenly hear, next call, who will make the dragon toot the brightest tonight? You see the crier is holding a hammer in his hands, the head of which is quite large, like so. I'm just checking, am I in the shot when I do that? Yes, cool.
Yes.
Quite large, about that size, the head of the hammer. He hands it to this burly-looking man who steps up, and he takes a swing at the nose. You see the nose deflate about a quarter of the way, and then from the rear of the dragon, you suddenly hear and a small plume of fire flies out of the rear of the dragon. The children around the dragon begin to giggle at the noise of it. And you see some members of the crowd sort of tittering and giggling at the fact that this man only managed to produce a small plume of flames.
Well, how far am I from him? Oh,
I mean, you'd probably need to step out of the crowd to see this, so probably about 20 feet away. That's Smack the Dragon. We like to do that over here. It's a bit of a tradition, you see. What you have to do is you have to get the hammer and you have to smack the dragon's nose. And if you manage to smack the dragon's nose all the way in, you'll get a big plume of fire. So it's a bit of a competition. Do you want to try? I tried last year. I didn't do very well. But I can try again this year. Would you like to try?
no, but it'd be fun to see you go again. Maybe you've improved. Who knows?
I have. I've been doing push-ups. I've been doing 100 push-ups every single day. And I've been doing some leg-ups as well, and some stand-ups as well, and some sit-downs as well, and some sit-ups as well. Yes.
Then show me your improvement.
Are you going to stay right here while I do it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then I'll go and do it. And you sort of see him scurrying up to the line of people, eagerly waiting for his turn. When his turn comes up, he grabs the hammer and so... I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to smack the hammer. Look, Sharky. Look inside, Sharky. I'm going to smack the dragon's nose really hard. You see him smack against the nose. The hammer just sort of goes and bounces right back off, deflating like about that much of the nose inwards. And you just hear coming from the rear of the dragon, and just a tiny flare of flame just out of the rear of the dragon. You notice that the little halfling, from the momentum of the hammer coming backwards, has sort of toppled over backwards, doing a half somersault, and did not notice exactly what happened. So as he picks himself up, he goes, "Did I do it? Did I do it? Sharky, did I do it?"
So out of character, is the halfling a guard or the guard
He's one
or
of the gods, yes. He
yeah?
appears
However,
to be very young for a guard, for the record.
It's not the guard I sent to do it, though, right?
Sorry?
The guard I sent to do it.
Yes,
To
same guy.
check his improvement. Same guy, okay.
Yeah, same guy. The guy who's the one who speaks like this and speaks a lot.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry, he's supposed to have an Irish accent. I forgot about that.
well, how much did you improve?
I'm not sure. I didn't see. I'm sure I did a lot. I'm sure I did a lot. Yes, it's fantastic. He sort of totters up to you, a little bit winded from his efforts. And you mingle back into the crowd.
Okay,
And oh, sorry. Yes.
because I was oh yeah, I should have said this before. I was not looking at him. I was trying to see if there's any strange behavior in the courtyard.
Okay. So let's say as he's following you, he's like, Did you see, Sharky? I hit that dragon good on those. It was fantastic. You did see, didn't you?"
Yeah, how much did you improve? That's the. I asked him uninterestedly.
As you look back, of course, he's sort of toppled over. All right, okay.
Yeah, I didn't
he
see
carries
him
on
topple
telling you.
over, really. I just heard the sound,
Well,
maybe.
You know, my muscles have grown quite a lot since I started doing all those push-ups. So I think I'm improving quite a bit. And he follows you, yapping away as you walk back into the crowd. Flint, are you still near that platform?
I would have hanged around for 5 to 10 minutes, hoping I can catch the royal family.
Okay, all right. Let's say as you do so, You see one of the guards approaching you, the Warforged unit from earlier, L-8R. Walks up to you, goes, "Hello, are you scoping out the area again?"
Aye. What brings you here?
"Well, I'm just patrolling. This is what we were assigned to do, and I am carrying out the security as assigned."
Out of game, would I know that he's very like logic? You know, he would follow orders, protocol, etc.
Most Warforged in this universe, they would take up these sort of jobs. Yes, they would be very logical in their approach to things. However, there do appear to be slight variations even in their speech patterns, in their way of approaching matters. However, yes, being logical and being concise in what they do, being able to follow orders, is something that most Warforged typically would have.
Okay. I ask him, what does he know about the royal family and about their entrance into the event?
The royal family should be joining us at exactly 6 o'clock this afternoon.
Which is 2-3 hours away?
It's in about 2 or 3 hours, yeah. It is in precisely 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Very good. What do you know about the Grimbeards? Or Grimblades? Grimbeards?
The Grimblades. The Grimblades, not considered to be a threat. They have caused 46 different minor thefts, robberies, and or muggings within the south side of the city of Aegis. However, these are very small scale, and we have been informed that they are not meant to be a problem. Captain Potts has specifically said that everything is fine.
Very well. Thank you. And I clap him hard, like on his arm, and walk away.
He's kind of metallic, so his arm just sort of sits there as you do so. Sure. All right. Okay. I just realized the time. Okay, guys, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Go and pee. Go and do what you need to do, and we will be back at 10:05. 10:05. Yes. People of Twitch don't believe that everything will be fine. Why? Everything will be fine.
I'm pretty sure they've been backstabbed by their DMs.
No, everything will be fine. I promise.
Yeah, that'll be fine. No problems whatsoever currently. Emphasis on currently.
Do you guys have a good layout of the royal gardens by now? In your minds?
So. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Right. So everyone's back. Welcome back, everyone. So let's get right back into it. We're going to compress time a little bit and move forward a couple of hours. Because of your current position, sort of standing guard close to the wooden platform. Flint, you are the first person to notice the wooden door open in the side of the palace, and you watch as what you can only imagine to be the royal family filing out, being escorted by Captain Potts. You notice the king and queen appear to be probably in their late 50s, something like that. All of them are human, of course. They appear to be in their late 50s. The king has a long blonde hair. However, you can see the grays a little bit starting to form in the hair. The queen herself seems to have a very kindly face with a couple of very minor wrinkles starting to creep in here and there. They're both extremely regally dressed. And then who you assume to be the two sons, Prince Aver and Prince Aema, following behind. One of them has completely cropped hair, like he's almost bald, just the slightest fuzz along his head. He seems to have a bit of a mischievous grin as he looks around, and he appears to be the younger of the two sons, probably in his late teens. He's the last person in the group, and just before him, looking in his mid to late 20s and looking around with a very regal, very commanding gaze as he surveys the crowd, is the other son, who, like his father, has kept his hair long down to shoulder length. Did we lose Puns?
His camera's gone off.
Man's
No,
down.
not
He's
sure.
still there,
My
no Buns?
person passing through, so.
Okay,
Okay.
no problem as long
Camera,
as you're still
so-
there.
The younger one is the one who has the rumor of the gambling, right?
You were told that it was Prince Aema.
Who's the younger or the elder of the two?
Yeah, you'd probably know this, the younger one of the two.
One of the two.
Okay.
Okay. I greet them, as I guess would be expected.
Yes, of course. Captain Potts actually does, when he spots you, leads the royal family first up to you and goes, this is Ensign Flint Frostbeard here on behalf of the Spears of Dawn in order to oversee our security detail. The king steps up to you and goes, Ensign, thank you so much for being here. We truly value your part in this. Of course, it's very important to keep the security in check here. Have you been having a good time with the celebrations?
I bow to him, I guess would be customary, and I say, "Thank you, my liege. I am well."
Very good. I'm glad to hear that. Please enjoy the festivities. I understand that you are here for the sake of security. However, things have been very peaceful and quiet here. We are, as you know, enjoying quite the age of prosperity, thanks to yourselves and thanks to the church. So, we have you to thank for this, of course. We are about to give the speech for the night.
No
For
thanks
the
is
evening.
no thanks is needed, my liege. And I sidestep to the younger son and say, "If you don't mind, a word with your younger son." And I try to motion him away.
Perhaps after the speech,
Aye,
the king tells you this.
aye, my liege. And I step away.
Sure. You watch as the royal family file up the set of steps up to the wooden platform and sit down upon the high back chairs that are on the platform itself. The crowd quieten down as they see this, and you can sense a sense of excitement in the air, as if this is supposed to be so the next part of the celebrations is about to begin. The king stands up. I wanted to see if I can stand up and still motion the camera at me because I'm used to DMing standing up, as Owen and Mir know. So I'm going to try and do the standing up because I'm just more comfortable doing that. Am I still in focus like that?
Paul, just before you do, can I
Yeah.
take the time to cast Shield of Faith on the younger one? Stay close to the stage.
Sure. I mean, you can get right up next to the stage. So yes, for sure, 100%. Shield of Fate on the younger one.
Yep, I do that.
All right. Okay. Mutter a few divine words under your breath, and the spell weave sort of twists in a very small way as the tendrils of invisible divine energy flow out of you to encase and envelop the younger one in a invisible shield of divine energy. So, I'm just bringing that up. The king stands up to address his subjects. Every year, we herald our first steps into the new world by bringing forth the first flame. As he does this, he gestures, and you see on the other side of the royal garden at the steel gates, there are four human bearers carrying between them this large bowl. I mean, you can see it here, but this is probably about 1 meter across, sort of thing. It appears to be made out of brass, perhaps, and within it there is a small kindling, and a flame is flickering above it. This flame, which first shed light upon the shores of Talduna, burns just as brightly 2,000 years later. And flames and light do more than create a festive mood. Light brings us hope. Hope that our ancestors first held within themselves and within their hearts as they navigated an alien world. Hope which we now carry within our own hearts as we march forward into this age of prosperity and unity. When we host the first fair, it is always inspiring to be reminded of the diversity of the people and the cities that make up our united family. We are made aware of the many associations and factions that combine through the first flame, helping us to imagine and deliver a common future. I would like to give a special thanks to the Norns Alliance. Throughout my life, I have had the opportunity to see and to hear how esteemed members of this faction have helped to provide advances in science and in healing, which have enabled many more people to witness longer years and be granted the gift of time with their loved ones, with miraculous immediacy. Looking to the future, this connectivity, and he sort of prattles on, this speech goes on for about 10 minutes. At one point, he seems to get to talking about choices, and he goes, and our choices and actions affect the well-being of the people and communities both far and I need you all, everyone who is not paying attention to the king anyway, to give me a perception check.
Sure, then yeah.
Paul, do you want me to do that with disadvantage, given that I'm concentrating on my spell?
No.
No, all right.
Let's see. Perception, you said?
Yes, please. Okay. Shalki, it is yourself that notices the movement on top of the hedges along the eastern wall of the royal garden. As you glance upwards, you see a sudden movement through the air. You hear the king from the other side going both near and suddenly cut off. As you glance upwards, Shalki, you see above the hedge there is a figure clad in a grey cloak and a grey robe that is holding a bow. However, his hand is not holding the string, and there is no arrow nocked in the bow itself. The rest of you were paying a bit more attention to the king. Notice that as he says, both near, both far, and deep, and he suddenly stops and bends over slightly. You can see a long wooden arrow shaft suddenly appear in his chest. You see a red plume spreading outwards across his white robes as he drops down to his knees. The crowd screams. The crowd begins to panic. What are you guys doing?
Beeline up the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and I spare the dying.
Okay, all right, sure. Echo, what are you doing? Shalki, I'll get to you last, okay?
I'm going to hide, but try and keep a line of sight on where the king is and try and maybe scope out from where he was shot.
You give me another active perception check.
Okay. Was a shortcut for it, right? Was it just up? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my god, the exact same number.
Okay. You look around, your attention is focused a little bit more on the royal family right now. However, you do have your eyes peeled as you try to scan the crowd, trying to figure out where that arrow came from. Hex, what are you doing?
I call back Agares to see if she actually saw the shooter.
Yeah. As she lands onto your shoulder, she very quickly transforms back into the imp form and goes over there on the hedges. And she points to where the shooter is. You notice this grey cloaked, hooded figure holding out a bow without an arrow in it. Shalki, what's he? Oh, yes, tell me.
No, I was going to say, how far away is he technically from where I am?
You were somewhere in the middle of the royal gardens. This guy is on the eastern wall, so maybe 200 feet away.
Okay, all right. Can I start making my way there slowly through the crowd?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Slowly would indeed be it, because the crowd is currently panicking, and the flow of people seems to be heading towards the steel gates, trying to get out at
Sure.
this point. Shalki, what are you doing?
So, how far away is he?
He is not far away from you because of that great perception check. We're going to say you were close enough that you can adequately see him. So he's about 50 feet away from you. However, he's also about 15 feet up. So he's like 60 feet away from you. Maths, I'm not going to do maths for this. He's like 60 feet away from you.
Okay, so I'll start running after him to try and catch him.
Okay, all right, sure.
If he is in a,
you going alone, or are you calling the others out?
I'll shout it out. I'll shout it out. I'll shout out where his location is, but I'll still start running.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If
Okay.
he is in a clear position, is he in a clear
He's
position?
on top of the hedge at the moment. He's on top of the hedge.
How easy is it for me to shoot him?
You could definitely take a shot at him. Or her. We don't know.
Then,
figure. Or it.
Then I'll cast Ensnaring Strike to try and ensnare our
Okay.
spy.
Go ahead and make go ahead and make, I believe that is a ranged attack.
Yes. Yeah, so I roll for attack, right?
No, so basically, right. So you make an attack, and then afterwards you use a bonus action to cast this,
Okay.
so that the thorns appear. So go ahead and roll a ranged attack with your bow. All right, okay. Roll the damage on that, please. Okay, all right. You reach towards your quiver, knock an arrow, and let it fly. It flies through the air, hitting Drew right in the shoulder of the creature. Whatever this hooded figure is, it definitely can bleed because you see a spout of red blood billowing out of its shoulder. As you do so, you use a bonus action. Yes, you use your bonus action to use the ensnaring strike, and you see these vines suddenly ripping out of the hedge and sort of cascading over him to try and lock this figure into place. You see the figure reaching into its robe, and then when it takes its arm back out, you can see that on its finger there is a silver ring. There seems to be a blue gem upon it. There's a sudden flash of blue, and the vines that had started to creep upwards suddenly fall back down into the hedge once more. And you see the figure jump behind the hedge. The others, Echo, Hex, and Flint, you heard Shalky call out. What would you guys like to do?
I'm still on my way.
First thing I want to do is hide.
Hide from what?
And from enemies.
You're hidden. What would you like to do? There are no enemies that you can see within the immediate vicinity. However, you did hear Shalky call out that he has found someone.
Okay. Call back out to him and I tell him who, where.
All right.
In a male voice, in a completely different voice to what he's used to.
Sure. Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's going to work. All right. You do notice Shalky running towards the hedge, and at the last moment, you see like this gray blur of something falling behind the hedge. X, what would you like to do?
You said the person toppled over.
The person is behind the hedge now. Yes.
They fell behind the hedge. And how far?
So they're outside of the royal gardens, basically.
Yeah. How far have I actually gotten so far? If I was walking towards them.
About 50 feet. So you're about 50 feet away.
Oh, okay. Then I'll take the rest of the movement.
Sure. You come straight up to the hedge, right next to Shalky. There is a big hedge in the way.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go over the hedge then, unless there's a way around it.
All right, okay, we'll get to that well, yes, you have to go all the way around and then out of the sealed gate and then back around.
Mm-hmm.
That's also an option. While you're considering what to do, Flint, what are you doing at the moment? All right, so you cast Spirit of the Dying. As you place your hands upon the king, you notice the flow of blood being stemmed. It sort of slows down and then stops completely.
Okay.
The king looks up at you.
I did this to him. As soon as I see that, I do this to him. I turn to the queen and tell her, My liege, there behind the chairs, there's a board, right? Behind which goes to the back of the.
Yeah, of course. Mhm.
I tell her, take your sons and go back to the palace.
And Aetius.
Sorry?
She's
Say
referring
again?
to the king. And Aetius. She's referring to the king.
I will look after him and bring him shortly.
Ava, come with me. And she grabs both of their hands. Ava is sort of like, yes, immediately grabs his mum and is like, yes, sure, mother, let's go. Ava looks like he kind of wants to hang around. However, you see Ava roughly grabbing him by the shoulder and hauling him along. They rush down the steps and behind the platform, heading towards the royal palace.
As they're doing that, I want to look up to see where's the nearest guard.
There's Captain Potts right next to you. He turns to you and goes, this has never happened. This is not fine. Is he okay?
How heavy is the king?
He's in his 50s, but he's not a very well-built man. So he'd probably be pretty light to carry.
Okay, can I hoist him over my shoulder and try to run after the queen?
Yeah, sure. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
In the excitement of what is going on, you attempt to place the king's arm around your shoulder. Yes. Okay. That's fine. It's okay. It's part of the story. It's cool. Right, so you swing his arm over your shoulder. However, in the excitement and the blood that's of course coming out of him, he sort of slips and sort of sags a little bit off of your shoulder. Captain Potts grabs you by the arm and goes, I can take the king. Perhaps you would like to check what is going on with them? And he sort of points to where you can see two of your group mates running towards the hedge. I'll take care of Aetius. Don't worry.
Okay. And with that, I notch my crossbow, looking for any sign of danger.
Okay. We're going to pop back quickly to Shalki and to Hex. Guys, have you decided what you're going to do now?
Wait, Shalky's on my side as well?
Yeah, you're next to each other at this point.
We're all next to each other.
No, you are on the other side, Echo, because you're still hiding.
Okay. I'm going to remain hiding for now.
I'll try and clamber over in that case.
Okay, give me an athletics check, please.
Sure. That is a 10.
Okay. You begin to make your way up the side of the hedge. It's a little bit tougher than you expected to do so, even though the brambles look like they would provide sufficient footholds and handholds. What you didn't expect was that your heavy metal body would just tear them off as you attempt to begin to climb upwards. You manage to get off about a couple of feet before you slip back down, carving two hands into the hedge itself, sort of like, and you end up with these two bundles of twigs in your arms. Of okay, that doesn't work.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Also, I do want to add that since this actually happened and now we're trying to find the person, I do switch back to my normal form.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Metal Man. Cool. Shalki, any ideas?
So I see him climbing up, so I'll be sure to stay on this side just in case he escapes, and just in case he escapes. I'll inform.
Point of
I'll
note,
inform-
you are both on this side of the hedge. Inside
Yeah, but
the
he's
royal
climbing up,
grounds.
right?
The grey hooded figure is on the other side, having long since dropped down and possibly departed. The penny dropped. Okay, cool. Yes, you guys are on this side, and when I said he toppled over backwards, I meant he toppled over backwards.
Yeah,
Which means he fell behind the hedge, not in the royal gardens.
Okay.
What would you like to
so-
do, Shalky? Tell me.
Is there another way that I can go around this?
Yeah, you guys can, if you'd like, make your way out and through the steel gates. It might delay you by a few seconds, but yes, you can definitely do so.
Yeah. So I'll go from the other side. Then.
Okay, sure.
So who's the dwarf? I forgot.
Sorry?
I forgot the name of the warlord.
Oh, Hex.
So, Hex, I'm going from the other side. I must be sure. I must. So we can intercept him properly. Maybe if the hedge takes too long, that maybe I can reach him.
That is fair. Yes, keep going. If you can get to him before I do, that would be best. I'll just keep battling with the hedge here.
The hedge looks quite thick at this point. I would say you're intelligent enough to know you're probably not going to be able to climb over it. You could probably blast through it, but not climb over it.
Okay, next plan.
Okay. Echo, what are you doing? You see Shalky racing along the side of the hedge, heading towards the steel gates. You can see Hex, he's trying to climb the hedge, and now there appear to be two large furrows within the hedge itself. And you see Flint, Flint, you told me you're heading towards the other guys, correct?
No, I've stayed on the stage, kind of like assessing if there's a further threat. So is there a follow-up shot? Is people going to come to, attack
There don't appear to be anyone. It just appears to have been the one lone assassin.
Okay.
Shalky's running after the assassin, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can I possibly get to the other side? That we're not going out? Okay, I'm going to try and flank if that's possible.
All right, okay. Keep in mind you're all still within the royal garden itself, and this guy is outside, this guy that you're looking for right now. So if you guys start moving towards the royal gate, towards the steel gate, you probably convene at about the same time.
Okay.
Okay,
all right,
sure.
I'll give it a try.
Okay, Flint, what are you up to?
Has all the royal family departed from the stage?
You take a look behind. You see Captain Potts at the door, just shutting the door as you look around the platform. The royal family are safely inside.
I beeline to Shalky and Hex.
Okay. Hex is still battling with the hedge unless he has figured out a way. Let's actually very quickly. So you look around the stage. You notice that the royal family is fine. Meanwhile, Hex.
Yep.
What are you trying to do at this point? Are you following Shalky or are you trying something else?
In this case, I will follow Shalky out because it seems quicker than actually trying to clamber, and send Agares over trying to look for him at the same time.
Okay. All right. So she goes off. You follow Shalky. Flint, as you turn around, you see Hex, Shalky, and Echo all heading towards the steel gates. So look around. Your family is fine. You look back. You can see your group mates moving. Would you like to follow as well?
I just want to point out that they're not seeing Echo.
No. They actually very good point. You see Shalky and Hex.
Okay. What would I use to attempt to climb the hedge?
You'd make an athletics check.
If I had to take that with a running jump,
Mechanically.
okay, if I had to do that with a running jump, does that put Persone like some advantage or something?
Unfortunately not. Running jumps are more for extending how many feet you'll move.
Okay.
It would just be a straight up athletics check for climbing.
And what's the hedge again? You said 3 feet?
3 meters.
3 meters. So that's 9 feet.
That'd be something like that.
9, 10 feet approximately.
Meters. Yeah, 10 feet high.
Okay. Screw it. Let's try it.
All right. Okay. Give me an athletics check.
Yay!
Oh my god. 20. Okay.
Basically, I beeline to the hedge, and at the last second, jumped into the hedge to pull myself up. Is the plan?
Okay. Sure. You. Very dangerous over short distances. Leap at the hedge, grabbing the top of it, hauling yourself over. What you see is some of the crowd are dispersing into the streets around. There's a sense of panic amongst them. And at the very end of the alleyway, you see a gray hooded figure ducking around the corner. We'll get to you in a moment. Sharky, Hex, Echo. You get to the gates. Sharky, Hex. You see random people running all around you, panicking. You run along the side of the hedge. Echo, you're following, but of course they don't know this. You run along the side of the hedge. Flint, your group mates come into view just as you see the hooded figure ducking around the corner. You're muted.
I was muted. I call out and I point to the corner in question.
Okay, fantastic. So we are giving chase. Where is my book? Okay. Before we go into this, I'm going to explain what we're about to do for the uninitiated. We are going to do something called a skill check challenge.
Oh no!
It should be fun.
Right, so give me 2 moments. I need to grab one more paper and I will be right back.
The anxiety begin.
Okay, this is what we need the timer for.
Huh. I assumed so.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a case of how quickly can we catch him versus how quickly he can outrun us.
Well, yeah, he will explain in detail, but usually it's
I wanted to try something, but I forgot to say it. Maybe I could use the flies to actually disperse the crowd into. We'll make a line for ourselves so we'd have an advantage.
Well, what about your imp? Could you not get the imp?
She's already looking for him.
Yes, indeed.
With flight, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. We've got a helicopter in the sky.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yes. So, for the just as a refresher as well for the people who don't remember 100% how this runs. So, a skill check challenge is a time-based challenge. Therein, why we're going to be using that countdown timer. What's a skill check challenge? Well, it's a series of non-combat solutions to issues, such as chasing a thief across rooftops, or even trying to connive your way into a noble's banquet hall. In this case, you need to accumulate an amount of successes before you accumulate an amount of failures within the given time. In order to do this, every single time I present you with a challenge, you have to decide amongst yourselves who is going to take on that challenge. There will be a single roll that is done to determine whether or not you fail or succeed. Whether or not you fail or succeed is not revealed to you. Whether how many successes and how many fails you need is also not revealed to you. Any questions so far? Because there's a couple more things I need to add.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to do these skill checks, you have a few different options. Skills can be used for the skill checks. So you can use your athletics, your perception, your investigation, whatever you can imagine. This comes down to the creativity of the players to tell me, okay, this is the challenge. Okay, I want to try and solve it in this way and use this skill. However, they can only be used once per character. So if you've used your athletics check, I hope you got your mileage out of it, because you can't use that again for this challenge.
This challenge or forever?
This challenge. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not a sadist, you know. Now, apart from skills, what else can you use? You can use cantrips. Cantrips will be done in the same way that a skill will be done. So let's say, for example, you see a situation where Firebolt makes a lot of sense to use. You can go ahead and use it. It will be done as an ability check, and you'll add your spell casting modifier to it and your proficiency bonus. So just like a normal skill check. And it will be, you'll be, again, trying to beat the difficulty check of whatever its challenge is. The third thing you can use, if you have access to them, are spells and spell slots. A used spell slot is considered an automatic success. Okay, so if you say, oh, wow, this situation requires a misty step, for example, that's an automatic success. But keep in mind, you're burning a spell slot to do that. Okay, so you ain't using that until you regain it from your short or long rest or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, with regards, all three of these, ability checks, cantrips, and spells, they have to be presented in a way that makes sense to the situation. So if I give you a challenge, like, for example, a large tree comes hurtling down towards you, and you tell me, I want to use my persuasion to persuade the tree not to fall on us. Well, you just wasted a bit of time. I'm just going to tell you, no, you don't fail the challenge, but keep in mind it's time-based, so you might want to come up with a better solution quickly. Any questions till now?
No.
Okay. Don't panic, Puns. You seem really, really... you seem to be panicking. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. So, if we could all go to our group chat, and for the viewers at home, if you would like to join in as well and time us as well, we are all going to pop open that timer. We're going to set it to 20 minutes. And when I say start, we are all going to start. Is that okay? Do you have any questions about this?
No. This is the first timer you set up, right?
Yeah, a 20-minute timer.
Okay.
I mean, you could also do this on your watch or whatever. That's just there for the sake of convenience. Okay. Let's see. Echo, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to
Chalky?
Yeah.
Hex?
Yep.
Flint?
Yep.
Okay, I hope the viewers at home are ready to go as well. We're going to start the skill challenge in 3, 2, 1, start. Right, so Flint, you hop down from the hedge, joining Shalky and joining Hex. You scan around quickly for Echo. No idea where she is, but there does seem to be a high elf following you. You take off down the street after where you last spotted the rogue figure ducking around the corner. All of a sudden, as you get around the corner, from the opposite end of the street, you see a cart laden with tomatoes is crossing right in front of you, almost at breakneck speed. It's about to hit you. What are you guys doing? So at this point, you can discuss as a group, and then you present me with your solution.
And if one person passes, everyone else passes, you said, right?
Yes, I only need one check. So you guys discuss together, and you tell me, this guy, he's going to do
cantrips
this.
be only used once, or they can be used multiple
Cantrips can be used as much as you want, but keep in mind they are an ability check. They're not an automatic success like spell slots are.
Can someone
Okay,
vault
okay.
over that cart?
Yeah,
If
Probably
one
so,
person
like an
succeeds,
athletic
you
check
will
or an
succeed. So
acrobatics
that
check.
is definitely an option. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Vault
Echo?
over, would that be an athletics check or
That would
an
be
acrobatics check?
acrobatics because it's a tumble effect.
Yeah.
I could try
So I
that. I'm
can't.
pretty high acrobatics. Pretty high acrobatics. I could try that. This shit luck though. You guys.
You guys tell
What's-
me.
What's your acrobatics modifier?
It's 4.
Then yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I
Okay.
help her?
Yeah, okay.
I'm afraid not. It's only one person per check for this.
Okay.
Oh, and while Echo is doing
I do
that,
it.
Hex, your find familiar can actually be used for the stealth challenge, but like the rest of your spells, only the one time.
She's a one-time use. Okay.
So you can use Aegis once for one challenge, if again it
Sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
13.
Okay. 13. Noted. As you skip as you skip towards the tomato cart, Echo, you notice its trajectory and you precisely calculate how fast it's going at. Your arms grip the sides of the cart and you vault yourself over it, barely missing the tomatoes that whisk by over your head. But you manage to get over the cart safely. Your friends get around it and you keep on going down the street. As you run further down the street, you suddenly hear you come around the corner. At the very other end of the road, you see the gray-robed figure. It has paused to turn and look at you. You just see shadows where the hood, within the hood itself. Separating you along the entire length of the street appears to be the entirety of the sheep population of Aegis. There is one shepherd standing in the middle looking really confused about what's going on. And as he notices you guys coming into the street as well, he goes, "Leave my sheep alone! What are you doing here?"
How
What are you
far?
guys doing?
How far is the grey-robed figure from us?
About 40 feet away.
So the grey robe
fuck that,
figure is
guiding
past the
bolt.
sheets, right? Right, past the
Guiding
sheets.
bolt. Guiding bolt is a first level spell, correct?
Yep.
Okay, give me a sec. Shalki, what did you say?
He's past the sheep, right?
He's indeed past the sheep. He's on the other side of the road.
Okay.
Yes.
So can I use Mage Hand to do like a sort of ram, sort of like of how trains have, so I can slide them?
Unfortunately, Mage Hand is not that powerful. Mage can only move up to 10 pounds of a material. There is a spell that can do that later on, Bixby's Hand. But what you're saying, it's not strong enough to do that. Mage Hand basically could lift this. Like that's about the extent of its
Yeah,
strength.
fair enough.
But another solution might be, Flint, you said something?
Guiding bolt on him.
All right, okay. So, Guiding Bolt's first level spell? Yes, all right.
A ranged spell attack against him.
A ranged spell attack against him. Okay. As the others are trying to figure out a way across the sheep, you quickly fire off a guiding bolt. The air heatens. The air heats up, and there's this crackling yellow lightning that arcs across the alleyway towards the figure. As it reaches the figure, you see the figure thrusting out, and there's this blue flash, and this time you see an almost like a blue bubble extending around the figure, blocking the guiding bolt. The guiding bolt dissipates, and you see the blue shield dissipate back and into what appears to be a ring. And from this distance, you can see that the ring is glowing a pale blue, and then it snuffs out. And you see the figure ducking around the corner. What are you guys doing? Oh, sorry. No, what are you guys doing? That's my turn now. So you manage to make your way through the sheep, and you continue down the next alleyway. you come around the corner and you come across Le Beige Dragon, where you can see lots of patrons outside sipping their teas, and a couple of tables have been knocked over. You can see patrons complaining, what happened, what happened? And you can see the doors of Le Beige Dragon have been flung open. From inside, you can hear screaming sounds coming. As you dash inside Le Beige Dragon, you see the grey hooded figure heading into the kitchens. All of a sudden, in front of you, oh mon Dieu, what is going on here? And you see Jacques Mouffoufous looking at you. Oh, he went that way, he went that way. You barrel down the restaurant and into the kitchen quarters. All of a sudden, you see these grey steel objects flying past you, embedding themselves into the wood behind you. You turn around and you see, they're kitchen knives. You turn around, see several very annoyed-looking chefs looking at you. One really big chef with a giant meat cleaver is marching up to you, and he tells you, where is that? Oh, mon Dieu, rats and pests in my kitchen. I won't have it. And he reaches up with his arm to fling the meat cleaver at you. What are you guys doing?
Let's see. Does anyone have a way to shield it or knock it out of his hand? I could misty step right across and we'll just get rid of the thing.
Indeed, that's an option as well.
Let's see.
Don't forget to mark off that guiding bolt from your spell sheet, by the way. All right. So that's one option. What else would you guys?
Also, I could sleight of hand it out of his hand.
I can command him to stop. But then I'm
those
out
are all
first.
good options.
First spell slots, though, if I do that. That's my last one.
Um,
You can sleight of hand it out of it or
yeah.
towards that, I guess.
I wouldn't recommend you use command for this one because that can be used for so many different things.
Exactly. Yeah, agreed.
You could indeed sleight of hand to wrestle it out of his hand. However, the only problem is he's quite far away. Well, I suppose you could sprint up to him and wrestle it out of his hand. That's also an option. Right, I should be quiet while you guys discuss.
I do that.
I'm
I
fine
can
with
raise
that.
shield and charge him
Yeah.
as an alternative.
Yeah.
What did you say? Charge him?
But I would raise my shield and charge
That
him.
would be an athletics check.
How big is this guy?
Big guy, but that would be an athletics check.
So, okay, but... Okay. Effectively being smaller than him, I should be able to take him out if I hit him in the right spot.
If you roll well for it, you will.
Yeah. Alternatively, I've got a heavy guy falling flat on top of me.
That too. Tick tock.
Yeah, we need to take a decision.
We need to make a decision.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have 11 minutes left.
I think it's best.
Worst case scenario, if he falls on me, you guys can pick him up, and at least the blade isn't flying at one of us.
Yeah. At least.
I mean, yeah, up to you if you want to use it. Let's just use one of them at least and just get it out of the way.
Let's
Okay.
go, let's go.
Shield.
Okay, athletics check, please. Oh, 21. Okay, you go barreling up towards this guy, shield out, slam into him. He doesn't know what hit him. He goes flying backwards, knocking over some of the other shelves behind him. You clear a path with the impact, and your group mates follow you as you run out of the kitchen and into a back alleyway outside. Outside, you spot the grey hooded figure ducking around the corner, and as you make your way towards him, you come out into a larger street. In the street, you notice off to the side, taking up about half of the street, is this very large wooden container. It appears to have some writing on the front of it, and as you run along the side of it, you can see "Water by Walter" written upon it. The grey hooded figure is barely 30 feet away from you. However, as you're running up towards the figure suddenly spins round and a small black projectile flies out of its hands. As it arcs towards the wooden container, you notice there seems to be a little spark of fire that appears to be spinning round and round and round with this little black, ball. I'm trying to explain what it is without using the word. Yeah, all right. And it spins through the air towards the container. What are you guys doing?
Wait, you said he's what, 30 feet away from us?
Yeah.
Spins towards the container.
He's basically chucked a
A
grenade.
little black metal ball. A little black metal ball with a fuse on it that is spinning towards a big wooden container that has written on it, "Water by Walter."
I can't.
Currently, as we're thinking about this, it's in midair.
Yeah,
Just so I can-
Yeah. This is in midair. One of you has the chance to react to it. Who is reacting?
maybe I can shoot it.
Yes.
Shooting, unfortunately, is not one of the things you can do.
Oh.
Ability checks, cantrips, and spells. Because skill check challenges are supposed to be
I don't.
You could indeed use Mage Hand. Yes, that would be an ability check plus your spellcasting modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, you could Mage Hand even just simply swat it upwards so it doesn't...
Yes.
I think you should just go
Or
for it.
Eldritch Blast.
Time's running out.
Yeah, Mage Hand. What do I roll though? Because
just roll a d20.
Yeah.
Okay. And then add to it your spellcasting modifier. In your case, you're a ranger, so that is wisdom, and your proficiency bonus, which should be +2.
Okay, so +5. A natural 20.
Yes.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. Your swarm of flies whiz towards the bomb, batting it away. The trajectory is completely changed as it bounces upwards, and after a few seconds, you guys hear from above you as you run below it. And you notice little pieces of shrapnel raining down upon you. You keep on running after the figure. The figure ducks into another doorway of another shop. As you race in after him, you see the sign above the shop. The sign says, "The Magical Menagerie." You hear a sudden scream coming from inside, and then as you run inside, you see cages all around you, wooden cages housing all sorts of exotic pets, little pens that have two-headed snakes and gelatinous oozes running around. There are griffins, baby hippogriffs off to the side. A couple of loxodons are peering at a few little frumps that are off in the corner. However, more immediate to anything else, as you race inside, you see a person, presumably the shopkeeper or perhaps one of the patrons of this place, is carrying off in a corner, and a massive creature that looks a cross between an owl and a bear. Basically, the back half of it is a bear, and the front part of it is a massive owl's head just leaning over this guy, just going, "Ah!" This thing is massive, and this thing looks like it's about to eat him. You don't see the grey hooded figure anywhere in sight. What would you guys like to do?
I use animal handling.
Animal handling. That is an option. Yes? You want to go with that?
I'll do animal handling.
Give me an animal handling check.
What? 13 to a natural 20.
Wow! Okay, all right. You very quickly shouted,
the
run
best
up to the owl
rolls.
bear. You very quickly ran up to the owl bear. You put your arms around it and whisper into its ear the secret druidic words that you know will calm it down almost instantly. You see the owl bear go, and it sort of sits down curls itself up. The person that it was about to attack stands up and goes, thank you. Listen, he went that way. And he points to the end of the shop where you see one of the doors has been opened up. As you duck off past him, 1 second, let me just note that down. As you duck through the doorway, at this point, you have a feeling that you've sort of been heading south, and that's immediately evidenced by the architecture around you. You notice the buildings around you are a little bit more ramshackled and a bit more beaten up. So there are wooden boards across some of the windows, and there's a bit of a smell in the air. A mix of drainage and feces and that sort of thing. And not the most pleasant smell to be smelling. You notice a few rats running around as well. As you head further down the street, you hear a scream in the distance. And as you run up, you find an open area, sort of a bit of a town square. However, all around you, there doesn't seem to be anyone in sight. There's a few steps that lead up to a small chapel off to the side and a couple of streets that lead onwards. In the middle, standing in the middle of this town square, is a creature. Two-legged, for lack of a better word. However, it is using one of its massive front legs to sort of lean down. The other one, which the large, bulging, muscled arm, which is purplish gray in nature, ends in a tentacle. And this tentacle is wrapped around the grey hooded figure who is being hoisted into the air. And that's where we're going to end the skill challenge and jump into initiative.
Oh.
You succeeded on the skill challenge, by the way. 5 successes, no fails. I have never had that happen in a skill challenge.
in a row.
Okay,
in my
that's
life.
Good. That's good.
High fives, everyone.
5!
5.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. That was amazing. It is 11:05. We're going to take a very short break and then jump into the final part. Before you do so, everyone please enroll 20, roll initiative.
Okay.
And we are going to come back. It is 11:03. We will come back at 10 minutes past 11. I don't know why I said 11.
Okay.
10 minutes past 11.
Okay.
That natural
you
one really
guys.
makes that natural one really
Serves you right. You use them all
yeah,
up.
serves me right,
You use them all up.
These
Okay?
20s in a row, it serves me right. It serves me right, yeah.
Okay. We'll be back in 5. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Yeah.
And to the viewers at home, see you in 5.
I'll stay here if you want, guys. Don't worry.
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
cool. Because I switched to the headset because now's the combat time. Get very excited during combat. Okay, we are just waiting for. There we go. All right. Hey, here, you changed positions.
You're okay. There
Frontier?
Yes, we needed to change.
Needed to change.
Sitting in the same place, yeah.
Okay, no problem. Very quickly, guys, I'm just noting down your initiative. I need, please, your AC and HP, starting with Echo. Your AC and HP, please. So I don't need to say looking them up myself. Or I could actually just look them up. Yeah, I've got them written down.
AC is 15. Okay.
It's okay.
And HP is 20.
It's all right. I got them. Let's see, Flint. Okay. Shalkies.
13 AC and 25 HP.
And let me just check. X. Okay. Okay. Just want to confirm with you guys. Hex, you didn't send me your new character sheet, did you? Doesn't really matter for this though. You were going to make a change to the spell, right?
Oh, right. Just that one.
But that's
spell
just a
is
spell.
different,
It
so-
doesn't make a difference. But you don't have Agathis anymore right now, right?
I don't have Agathis. I have Burning Hands.
Okay, noted. Okay, so just need to confirm. Echo, you're 15 AC, 20 HP. Flint, you're 18, 29. Hex, you're 13, 23. And Shalki, you're 13, 25, correct?
Yep.
All right, okay. So, just to reiterate, what you see in front of you as you barrel out of the alleyway into this large town square, you can see off to the right, there's a set of steps that are leading up to what appears to be some sort of chapel or something like that. The town square itself is covered with cobbled stone. You don't see any people in sight of you. They all appear to have scattered upon seeing the massive monstrosity that is standing in the middle of the town square. This creature, by the way, is regarded in D&D terms as a large creature, which means it's about 12 feet in height. And what it looks like, so firstly, its stature is hunched over. The biceps on its arms are absolutely massive. It's obviously very muscular in nature. In fact, so much so that even though it's hunched over, it's using one of its arms, which is scrunched up into a fist, to sort of raise itself up a little bit. Its skin is this grayish green purple color. You can see within its body the muscles that bulge out. You can actually see the little lines of sinew all across its body. Its back appears to have this very large growth, almost like a hunchback of sorts, and appears to be even slightly translucent in nature. You can actually see the rippling of the muscles as it moves around. Its face is just this mass of different features. You can see at least 3 eyes embedded into its face. It appears to have no nose to speak of, but it does appear to have a gash across the side of its face that as it opens up, you can see several irregular teeth lining it. Its right arm, which is currently holding the grey hooded figure, ends in this sucker-like tentacle that has wrapped itself about 1.5 ways around the grey hooded figure itself. You also notice all across its body, it seems to have gashes and abrasions, and as you watch, some of the abrasions actually pop open, and within them you can see moving around about this size yellow eyeballs that sort of turn around to look before the abrasions closes up again. And initiative, Echo, what are you doing? And the grey hooded figure is currently holding on like this and struggling to get out of this thing. Echo, what are you doing?
Would this be a surprise round?
Yes, it is definitely not focused on you, so yeah.
I do get sneak
You do
attack.
indeed.
Okay, then I'm going to
roll
sneak
with
attack.
advantage.
It-
And sneak attack.
Yes. I'm going to use my short bow.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so
How much is that to hit?
with advantage, right?
Yes, please.
20 to hit.
20 hits. Roll that damage.
And damage is 3d6 plus 4. 18 damage.
Okay, how is that 3d6?
Because 2d6 is the sneak attack and 1d6 plus 4 is the short bow.
All right. So that is 18. Okay. Okay. You very quickly knock an arrow, sing, let it fly. It arcs through the air, embedding itself into the creature. There's this as it impacts the skin of the creature, there is an explosion of what you'd assume to be blood. However, it's this. It has a slightly reddish purple tinge to it as it spurts out of the creature. As this happens, the creature turns to you going, "Arr!" and begins to barrel towards you guys. It's about to take its turn. It still has the hooded figure in its arm. As it reaches you, it's going to swipe with the hooded figure at all of you. I need you all to make dex saving throws, please.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my turn, I still had, I could either
Still have
disengage or.
movement. Yes.
I disengage the
Um,
bonus action.
I'll say you can dodge as a bonus action, which means you'd be rolling with advantage on the dex saving throw.
Okay.
Just call them out to me because there are lots of numbers coming in right now. I just need to know.
So I rolled a
what's going on here.
21.
4.
Nice. Okay. 4. All right.
I got a 3.
Oh dear.
That's 14.
14. All right. Okay. So let's see. Shalki, Echo, you both duck out of the way as the hooded figures is swung over you, and as this happens, you just see the figure going right over your heads. However, Hex, Flint, you're not quite as quick to do so. It's the hooded figure first strikes you, Hex, and then barrels into you, Flint, and both of you take 9 bludgeoning damage as this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The monstrous figure is standing in front of you. It's just taking its attack. Flint, what would you like to do?
I am extremely pissed off at this thing, and I charge it. And I'm going to try and swipe it with my warhammer.
Okay, go for it. We need to see about getting some battle music thing in Discord so I can have some music.
That's a crit, 23 on total.
Ooh, okay. So the way that we do crits is you're going to take your weapon dice and you're going to double your weapon dice. So your Warhammer, the 1d10, if I remember correctly.
No.
So roll 2d10.
Well, I'm using it with one hand, so it would be a d8, so that's times 2.
You got your shield up still?
Yep.
Okay. So it's a 2d8 plus your 2d8 plus your normal attack modifier. Your normal damage.
Plus 1, then. So that'd be 2d8 plus 1.
Yes, you don't double the modifier, you just double the dice.
Exactly. Yeah, 8 total.
All right. Okay. After the creature has swung at you, Flint, in a fury, you grab your axe, go running towards it, and smack it in one of the legs. You hear this audible sound as bone shatters within the thigh, and the creature goes as it stares down at you. Hex, what are you doing?
Okay. How far away is the creature from where I am?
It's right up in front of you. You guys came into this into the square as a group, and it's right in front of you. That's why it managed to whack you all with a single attack with its tentacle arm.
Okay, no, but
You know,
my
the
point is,
hooded figure.
my point is, if I back away, it will have an attack opportunity.
It is within range to take an attack of opportunity if you were to back away normally. Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, no, in that case, I will don mage armor. And that is my action, though. I'll stand my ground for the next
Okay.
part.
The brief shimmering as the spell weave twists, and there's shimmering all across your body as the mage armor glows upon you. Alki, what are you doing?
So, I cast Hunter's Mark on the creature.
All right, okay.
And I've
I've never known how to visualize Hunter's Mark, so if you have an idea for it, please go ahead. You know, say
like
for
a
having
rally
a big
just
red
on the-
arrow suddenly appear. I've never really had a good
So-
visualization for Hunter's Mark,
Yeah.
so go ahead if you have an idea.
So as all my focus goes towards the creature, and it's like I'm in the zone, like blood's pumping through my veins, just focusing on that one creature, and it's like something kicks in. It's like an adrenaline rush, and I go to shoot my first arrow while fully focused on it, with willing to hit it at its weak point.
Before you make that attack, I just want to tell you, you are within 5 feet of it. It is a ranged attack, which means you will have advantage if you make an attack from here. You'll need to back away from it, in which case it might take an attack of opportunity. You'll have disadvantage on it because you're within 5 feet. Because it did rush up to you guys, sort of thing. That's
Yeah,
why I'm saying.
okay,
So it's put you in a position where you're all currently locked in melee combat with it.
Yeah, okay. So I still cast Hunter's Mark instead of my bow, and of my long bow, I'll use my short sword.
Nice. All right. Okay. Do you have a dagger as well?
And I have 2 short swords.
Go for it.
And I add me with my adrenaline. I go towards the weak point. Go to stab it towards the weak point. So
Okay.
that is roll attack, right?
Make an attack. Go for it.
So that would be a 20.
Where are all these rolls coming from? Okay, fine.
It's a lucky day. I had a very horrible morning, so maybe it's payback time.
Okay, you unsheathe your short sword. The calmness of the Hunter's Mark coming over you. You rush up to it and with a backhanded blow slash at the already weakened point that
If you want, I can do a
Flint
demonstration.
has done it. Go for it. Yeah, are you putting weapons on stream? I'm not sure if we're allowed to put weapons on stream. Oh no, he's run away. He's taking the headphones off. Oh no.
Quickly.
I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that. Oh my god, it is an actual weapon. Oh no. Alright, okay. It's wood,
Okay,
right? It's
so-
wood. It looks wood.
This is my short sword.
It's wooden,
So-
right?
Yes,
Like
it is
this.
wood.
Okay.
I go towards the weak point and go towards the weak point, just stab towards it,
Sure.
and
As your
do a retreat.
As your blade pierces the flesh of the creature. There is again this white liquid that spurts out of the creature, tinged with purple and red to it, almost like a wound that has begun to heal. And that you've now picked, and so you see that white mucus spurting out of it. Okay, we go back. Boom, top of the round.
I
Echo,
haven't rolled
your
damage
goes.
though.
You have not. You're correct. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh, and roll your hunter's mark too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get carried away.
Yeah. Good way. Is there a way you can do multiple rolls at one command, or?
No, I'm afraid not. I mean, it depends what you want to do. Like 2d6, for example, just type in like 2d6. 1d6 plus 2, all right? Okay,
Okay, that's my normal attack, and
You've already
my-
consumed your bonus action for Hunter's Mark, if I remember correctly. Hunter's Mark is your
Yeah.
bonus action, right? Okay, so you cannot make that second
and I did an
attack for
extra
now.
1d6. So
For Hunter's Mark, all right. That's 6.
so 7 damage in total.
Okay. Damage. Okay, it's looking bloodied, guys. Right, for the people who don't know, when I use bloodied, I mean it has hit the halfway mark on its health. Okay, so it is currently bloodied. Okay, top of the round once more. Unless Shalky, do you want to move, or are you staying right there?
I'll go very close to where it won't have attack of opportunity, but I'll retreat slightly.
Okay, so you back up a little bit, but not to the point that it's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
attack of opportunity. All right, okay. Okay, top of the round once more. Echo, you're up, and the creature is after you. What are you doing?
Is anyone within 5 feet of the creature?
All of you.
Perfect. Okay, so I have sneak attack again. So I'm
You do
just
have
doing the
sneak
same
attack,
thing as
yes,
before.
but not with your bow unless you want a disadvantage on that. You're going to have to use a melee weapon.
I'll use the I'll use the rapier, I believe. Yeah, the rapier.
Okay, so you're going to have to drop
Okay.
your bow. You drop your bow, and as part of your action, you unsheath the rapier, and you're going to make an attack?
Yes.
Go for it.
24 to hit.
Okay, fine. Yes, that hits as well. All right, okay, roll that damage.
Okay, so that's sneak attack plus +4. 19 damage.
Okay. All right. Your rapier whizzes forward, cutting through the air as you very quickly make a deep wound into the creature before disengaging from it once more. You still have your bonus action.
Yes, I'd like to hide. Disengage.
You are in
Disengage.
plain view of it. Disengage, sure, okay. It can't take attacks of opportunity from you, and you back away from it. How far away? You've got up to 30 feet. You can go into the alleyway, you can go into the town square. Where are you staying?
The alleyway.
All right, you back up into the alleyway. All right, sure. The creature, looking slightly enraged, raises its other hand up now. The tentacle holding the grey hooded figure now smacking to the ground as it sort of rebalances itself to make a big fist attack with its other arm and brings it barreling down towards the last person who hit it, who's still within range. That is Shalky, and it is going to go ahead and it's going to make an attack.
Do I roll a save?
No, this is against your AC.
Okay.
Okay. So as this massive fist comes crashing down, Shalky, you duck very neatly to the side. You see the fist coming round towards you because it has multi-attack. And the second one collides with you, doing 7 bludgeoning damage as it knocks you away. You are knocked back 10 feet from it, but you are now out of its range as well. So you take 7 bludgeoning damage.
So I have 18 health now.
That is correct, but please don't say that on. We like to not discuss the numbers during the combat so that we don't know when you guys are going to die. No, I'm joking. You can say that you're bloodied, basically, in the game.
Okay.
But don't worry, that's the first time round, so don't worry. Okay, and that is its turn. Flint, you're up next. Hex, you're after. Flint, what are you doing?
I'm right next to it, swearing at it. Boom. Again.
Go for it.
That's a
That is 10.
Yep, 10 to hit.
Okay. As you bring your hammer down once more, your knee buckles slightly, as the chainmail catches in the thread, and your aim is off slightly. The hammer still smacking into the creature, but only a glancing blow that doesn't seem to do much to it. You still have your movement and a bonus action if you still want to do something.
No, I'm happy to take the focus of it for now.
All right. Okay. Hex, what are you doing?
Okay, so first of all, Misty Step the hell away from it.
Okay.
Use the full 30 feet, but still keep it in view.
Okay. The mists of Rilia surround you, and you disappear from view, reappearing a few feet away.
Okay, that is the bonus action. As the main action, just use Eldritch Blast for now.
Of course, that's going to become a staple.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll the attack and the damage, please.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So that's it. 22 to hit.
Okay, roll the damage.
3 damage.
Okay. A bolt of purple lightning flashes out of your hand, arcing towards the creature with a sound. Okay, that is force damage, correct? If I remember correctly.
I can
Yes.
tell you. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to move?
More than the 30 feet. Actually, if I assume that its movement is about 30 feet, so let's take an extra 10 feet.
Sure.
Further from
Okay,
the
you back
30
away
from
about
the
10 feet. All right. Shalky, you pick yourself up off the ground after that dazing blow from the creature. You're about 10 feet away from it now. What would you like to do?
So,
Oh, and go ahead and make a Constitution check for me, because I believe Hunter's Mark is a concentration spell, no?
yeah. So
Okay, go ahead and give me a concentration check.
Okay, one second.
Concentration check is a Constitution check.
Okay, so 30 plus 1. $15.
That's fine. All right, okay. Go ahead.
So on my rebound, I rolled slightly back to land exactly on my feet. I take my arrow from the quiver and I aim it towards it and fire.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack.
That's complete. That's fine. That'll be 11.
Hit. All right. The arrow arcs through the air, sticking in the creature, but not deep enough to actually hurt it, apparently. Your aim was just a little bit off there.
So I don't roll damage, or
No, I'm afraid
Okay.
not. That does not hit, technically.
yeah.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
Start of round. Echo. You're up. The creature's up next.
Okay, I'm going to sneak attack again.
For it.
Again, right? There are
Yes, there are.
people which are still.
Flint is still within 5 feet of it, so you still have sneak attack.
Okay, and I'm going to use the. Wait, I didn't pick up the crossbow though, right?
Oh, that's the next creature.
Sorry.
Earth was that sound?
It was the alarm of before. The 20-minute alarm.
That sounds okay.
Okay, alright, so. $19 to hit.
19 hits.
Six. I'm going up to the creature. By the way.
Okay.
I dropped the crossbow before, so. And I don't remember picking it up, so I have to go back.
So 8 damage.
8
plus
plus.
anything else?
Yeah, plus. Plus 9.
All right. Okay.
17.
Freaking maths.
17.
Okay.
17.
It is severely bloodied right now. It looks like it's on its last legs, guys. Because you're the last person who damaged it, Echo, it turns to you just going, "Rah!" And you see it coming down, this time with the tentacle that's still holding the robed figure. I need you and Flint to make dex saving throws, please.
$17.
Problem.
13.
Problem. All right. You both duck as it brings the figure slamming down between the two of you, and you hear sound, and you hear the figure just go. Flint,
Can
what
you
would
allow
like to do?
me, as it's coming down on that, to reach out and spare the dying on the robed figure?
Spare the dying is only used to stabilize a creature. As in, they would be bleeding and you stop the bleeding, for example. It doesn't
I wouldn't-
actually heal them up.
From what you've described, obviously, I don't know what state it's in. So I'm presuming with the...
I'm just explaining what it does. Mm-hmm.
No, I know that.
Yes, that would be your action, though, because it is your turn, actually. I believe spare the dying is an action, right?
I'm just going to confirm that.
I think it's a bonus action. Q. It's a cantrip, isn't it?
It is an
so
action.
technically, you can also use a bonus action spell if you have one. Spare the dying.
No, okay. No, I'm still in Fury. So...
Okay, whack it!
14.
Ooh, that just hits. All right. Roll that damage.
D8 plus 3, right? Yes. $11, max on the dice.
So,
Nice.
the creature is sort of hunched over right now because it's brought the hooded figure down to the ground, and it's at around about head height to you. As it turns towards you,
Eat hammer!
would you like? Okay, you bring the hammer around, bashing into the figure. There's this audible crack as its skull snaps in half with the momentum of the hammer. You see blood spilling outwards and bits of teeth and fragments of the skull just flying out of the creature. You manage to cave the skull in to such a degree that you see the jaw on one side has almost reached the other side. And the creature topples down to the ground over the hooded figure. That's the end of combat.
Yeah. How heavy is this thing now?
You going to try and shift it? Give me a
Yeah,
strength
I want to get back. I want to get to the hooded figure.
Go for it. Strength check. Anyone's helping you, you get it with advantage.
Yeah, we'll help him out, of course. Trying to get the person out from under it.
With advantage, then.
So this is roll 1, roll 2.
Mhm.
So that's 16 then.
We'll take roll 1. All right. Yes, collective, you managed to push the creature over, and you can see the gray cloaked figure. The hood has fallen back, and you can see long blonde hair stained with blood, and a female human looking up at you, very, very dazed. You also notice parts of her body beneath the cloak are twisted in ways that really should not be twisted. As you kneel... Sorry?
If you allow me, I'll preserve life. I will give her 1 HP. And between us, who's the worst out of us? Who looks the worst out of us?
I think that would be me.
Okay, so you take 3, and the rest of us will take 2 each. It basically allows me to give 10 HP to people around me, as long as no one hits.
Yes. Lay on hands, right?
Preserve life. It's of the life domain.
Okay, as you reach out to your fellows...
So
and
add or remove.
Sorry?
So are we adding the to health or are we
Yep.
removing?
No, add.
Okay, good.
he's giving you HP. He's healing you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
You very quickly heal your comrades, and then you said you want to heal the grey cloaked figure.
I give it one HP.
Okay. As you lean over to try and administer divine healing to the woman, she slaps your hand away and looks at you. Her eyes, for a moment, seem to focus. She tells you, "King is dead. Long live the king." Her
When
eyes...
she hits me, I punch her back. What I do?
Okay, your arm swings back around. Just as her eyelids are closing, a healthy knock to the head knocks her into the next life. And that is where we are going to end this session. Thank you, guys,
Poor thing.
each of you, for playing with me. Thank you, Mir. Thank you,
you.
Buns. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Shami.
Yeah, thank you.
I will be
Thank you.
communicating. I'll be communicating to you guys certain events that will transpire between this session and the next session. Just more paperwork stuff that you guys need to know as we move in the next session. So that we'll have a bit more action as well going on. Thank you to the viewers at home. Not sure if I'm meant to plug our patrons, our sponsors again, or if that's fine. No, Don said at the start of the session. That's okay. Cool.
Again.
But honestly, the sponsors are freaking awesome. Like the Giant Tower and Warmonger Gaming, and also Miniature Corner Studio. They're freaking great. They're sending me a mug, by the way. I'm going to have it next sesh. Really excited. Yes, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you guys for playing with me, and I will let you know when the next session is going to be.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
night, everyone. Good night, chat.
Bye-bye.